PUDcast is filmed before a live studio audience.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the PUDcast with Jason and Mike. I'm Jason.
I'm Mike.
And we're coming to you from the Pud Cave, located here in game-swapping, beautiful downtown Lincoln in the great state of North Carolina. Mikey, brother, what is going on?
Hot outside, man.
Yes, it is. It's hot inside, bro.
Hot inside right now.
For two reasons.
Miserable.
One, we don't have the air conditioning. Well, we didn't have it turned on.
No.
But once again, bro, somebody is in the Pud Cave.
Yes.
It's my favorite guest, man.
Absolutely.
And that's Mr. Wayne Sisk.
Yeah.
The living, breathing musical encyclopedia.
Thank you.
And you know what that means? That means today we're having another Warren Zevon episode.
Hey.
And we may actually talk about Warren.
We don't talk about Warren Zevon at all.
Yes. No, we actually may bring him up, man, a couple times.
He gets mentioned.
We're actually going to make a concerted effort to.
I think we've said his name now more than we ever have.
I think so. We've actually hit that record, man.
Yeah.
Well, y'all,
Warren Zevon.
we're done. We're done. Here we go.
I think our work is finished.
So
here.
everybody.
Our work here is done. Wayne, how you doing, brother?
I'm great, guys. Thank you for having me back.
Brother, thank you for being here. Like I said, man, we always enjoy it when you come in. Always says, man, our rent goes up when Wayne's in the Pud Cave. And Mike, I think we ought to ask Wayne a question, brother.
Yes.
Let's just do it right here off the bat. Wayne, you're already a recurring guest. I mean, you've probably been on the podcast. Well, I don't know. David Hayes is on a lot, too. But you and David Hayes are right there neck and neck. You've been on it. But we'd like to make it official, brother. We kind of want to put a ring on it.
Oh,
so
mercy.
to say. We'd like for you to come at least once a month, brother.
Oh,
and be on the
wow.
Pud Cave. We want to have a Warren Zevon episode once a month, man. Would you be down for that?
I would love that. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, dude, some things may change. You know, we may have to. The card is always subject to change per se. But me and Mike were talking about. I was like, yeah, man, it's another Wayne episode. You know, it's like these are the ones that gets us excited. I mean, we enjoy doing the podcast. We're always excited to be in here and doing it. But when we have guests on, especially when Wayne, when you come on. Yeah, man. It's like I said, man, it raises the rent, brother.
Hey.
It raises the rent, and we want you to hear more, and like I said, we want to extend that invitation.
Well, I
brother.
appreciate it, guys. Thanks. I'll definitely do that. That sounds fun.
Yes, man. Well, we are glad you said yes, because we were talking about this for the last few days, and
He said yes.
He said yes, yes. And y'all can't see this, but I'm actually on one knee.
I didn't have to go to K's.
Damn it, I did. Now, Wayne, you do know every kiss begins with K, so...
Could we?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Could we sort of skip that part, guys?
Maybe just do a high five.
Yeah. I'd settle for a good fist bump.
Fist bump, and there we did
Jason's
it,
a
man.
little wilding out this morning.
Time to turn it down, Coach. Slow it down. Slow it down. Well, guys, before we start getting into today's subject matter, I didn't know when I should do this or bring it up, but I've been sitting on something for a few days.
Oh, you're pregnant.
And Mikey, you're the father.
I knew it.
Damn it, man. I told you to pull out. But, okay, anyway, which is actually kind of a cool segue into what we're about to talk
All right,
about.
yeah.
Oh, that's not a good start to anything.
Wayne's like, I think I may rescind that, and not come back once a month.
Is there a lock on this cave door? Can I get out?
No, brother. No. Once you're in, you're in, man. You're in.
The boulder.
Open sesame. But nah, guys, I got to tell y'all about this product that's on the market, man.
Okay.
I
Is this a plug? Or is this
No,
this is an
it's,
ad?
Well, it may turn into one. Hell, I'm actually send a message out to the people who own this thing and be like, hey, motherfuckers.
Hey.
No, guys, a few years ago.
A new sponsor, apparently.
Nice.
Oh, brother, when you hear what this is, it'll make perfect sense. But a few years ago, I was working at a place, and somehow or another, you know how sometimes work talk can just get kind of out there and get kind of weird, especially when there's a bunch of guys,
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Kinda like here.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like you hear here on the podcast every week. But there's this thing out. Well, long story short, man, the subject of male sex toys came up. Like the fleshlight, things of this thing. Masturbators. Let's just go ahead and put them out
What's
there.
a flashlight, Jason?
Fleshlight? It's basically this thing you jack off with.
Wow.
That's supposed to...
Does it look like a flashlight?
Actually, dude, I've never seen one in person, but I have looked them up online for research.
He has looked him up online before.
Google that
For
fucker.
research.
Google that fucker.
Which brings me, as I'm doing the research, there's this device on the market. It's a little pricey, guys. I checked. But
wait, it's not cheap?
It's no. But you probably
It always comes at a price.
I was going to say, you probably do save money at the end of the day, but this thing is called, wait for it, this machine is called the Autoblow.
Okay. Okay.
I wish we had a camera to see Wayne's face. That's why we're going to try to go video eventually,
Right.
man, just to
Yeah.
get Wayne's expression right now.
Oh, my God.
This thing is called the Autoblow. So me and some friends were
That's
talking.
better than the names that I've heard for different toys.
Let's hear some of the names.
Pocket Pussy.
Yeah, that was the
Okay.
that's the classic
Yeah.
right
Okay,
there.
yeah.
That's the one I
Yeah.
always heard back in the day.
I've actually heard of that one, too. Not that I'm proud of it, but I have heard of it.
Nothing to be ashamed of, brother.
No.
Hey, man, this is 2019, man. It's cool, man. It's cool to do your thing, including the Autoblow.
Autoblow.
Dude, this thing. I mean,
It
I
sounds
looked
like
into
it's
it.
from Germany. Like it should be.
It
like
does
the
sound
Autobahn.
like.
If
Yeah.
it was from Germany, it'd be called a good and tight. Boy. Which
And
apparently
there
you
it
can
is.
get attachments.
Boy.
But this thing, man.
What do you want to attach to it?
You're never mind. You know, I don't want to tell you what you attach.
Oh,
to this
okay.
thing.
Welcome to the Howard Stern Show.
Yeah, for real. Well, guys, man, before the reason I'm bringing up the Autoblow is to me, once again, some buddies, that I have, man. We somehow or another it came up again. And so I was like, man,
came up again.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ. So I was like, hey, guys, have you ever heard the Autoblow? And I haven't listened to this thing in like 3-4 years, man. Well, dude,
Is that setting on the air conditioner? What?
my hair's not even wet.
What is this thing you speak of?
Damn, the Autoblow. What? But nah, guys, so I bring it back up, man. We're laughing about me and some buddies. I'll start reading the fucking reviews and the comments, which brings me to what I have in my hand. I have a piece of paper in my hand with my favorite reviews of the Autoblow, man. Dude, okay, let me read some of my favorites here, man. All right. I'm going to start out kind of on the low end, and then I'm going to work my way up, man. Okay. All right, first of all, here's the first review I'm going to read. Good, but not a blowjob replacement. Feels like a real blowjob from a girl who isn't a pro blowjob giver. Eventually she'll get you there, but it may take a while.
Yeah.
Hands free though, so still good.
Hands free.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Now, wait a second. Let me take it. Okay, so it's hands free.
Yeah, let me explain what this thing is, man. Okay. So it's a device that you insert your penis into, and it's a sleeve that that you climax in. So you have to take the sleeve out, wash it out. You have to use lube for it, but it's a series of bands with these beads around it that goes up and down. That works it, man. Apparently, this motherfucker sounds like a machine. That's something that people do bitch about. They say it's kind of noisy. So if you want to do this shit on the DL, I think somebody actually said it sounds like windshield wipers.
Oh,
Do
gosh.
you have to lube up? I mean,
Yeah, you do have to lube it up.
Okay.
Yeah, you do have to throw some lube in it, man. I read a lot of texts.
You don't
a lot
wanna
of
go in
specs
dry.
on this No. Apparently that some bitch may rip you off.
Oh, God. Oh,
Yeah, everybody says put lube on this motherfucker.
oh, wow.
In fact, speaking of the noise, here's one of my other favorite ones. The motor makes noise, but it's less annoying than listening to my wife complain when I accidentally come in her mouth again.
Okay.
Okay.
Just a series of gurgles.
Yeah. Here's another one. My penis says thank you, and my wife says thank you also. This is a very good product. It does what it's supposed to do. It makes you come. I am 70 years old and do not climax well, but this does the job. I would highly recommend it and would love to test for the company.
Oh man.
Signed, John.
70.
This man is 70 years old and wants to be a jack-off or a blowjob machine tester.
This late
Hey,
in the
man,
game.
are they hiring?
This late in the game.
Yeah, it's 70. 70, man. And
Which
God bless him.
begs the difference. If he can do it, then
we
anybody
can do it. Man, we can do it. I didn't know they were hiring.
I didn't either.
It's like, hey, man.
Don't be scared. That era. That era, man. Don't be scared.
Don't be scared, brother. Here's another one. I just wanted to say that the Autoblow 2 is a masterpiece. When I fucked it, when I first fucked it, I was blown away. When I told my wife that this machine is better than her at getting me off, she kicked me out of the house. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Okay, here's one, and I don't have a lot of them. This sucks the soul out of my cock. There was one. This thing really rocks. It feels like a real mouth down there. The best blowjob I ever had from a machine. So apparently this guy's had multiple blowjobs from other machines.
Are there a lot of machines?
I guess so, man. Who
He's
knows?
tested the market.
He knows his shit.
Apparently.
He even tells you details, man. I run hot water over to get it warm. I use coconut oil on it for my lube.
Coconut oil.
It melts when it's warm, and it's fantastic. The oil gets warm to the touch, and my cock gets really warm with the machine. It's a win-win situation. I need to get that handle adjustment, though. My wife kind of jealous, and I think I don't want to hurt her feelings. But she has a problem using her teeth, and this has no teeth. A satisfied customer.
So he warms it up with hot water.
He puts coconut oil on it.
Gets the friction going, and afterwards he fries plantains on it.
Oh God, man! I hope not. And let's see.
Sounds like a kitchen instrument.
Yes. And I got one more for you. This does include the N word, so I'm not going to say the N word, but it does include it. Okay. Goddamn N word. This thing had me bust like a fucking fountain. Shit, I ain't never going to fight for real pussy again.
Oh my!
And that, my friends, is the Autoblow 2 reviews.
Wow.
And you can get yours.
Oh, yeah.
And you can order yours right now. No, those things run like $200
Hey,
man.
if it's that good,
I mean, shit, it'll pay for itself.
This hour of the podcast is sponsored by
The
Autoblow.
Boogie woogie.
Damn it, guys. Like I said, when I was reading that shit the other day, I'm literally crying. When that motherfucker said you would never fight for real pussy again. He said, damn N-word, I bust like a fountain.
I'm telling you, man.
Damn it, guys. But that's what I've been holding on to for the last few days when I'm reading this one. That's going on the podcast.
That is
Gotta go.
That's gold, man. I'm telling you. Can you imagine the commercials though? I mean, like they do, and you can see
dude.
holidays are coming around. It's Father's Day. Oh no!
Give him the gift that keeps on giving.
No, the one
and have you coming back for more.
The one I see for it, if they were to do a commercial for it, like late night commercial, like the infomercials, it would have to be like the awkward white people just dropping random shit.
Oh, yeah.
You just awkward white guys just trying to get, or awkward white woman just trying to, and just misses her mouth. It's like, are you tired?
God's goddamn, man, I'm in tears.
Oh, God. It just gets hit in the eye.
You need the Autoblow.
How many times has this happened to you?
Are you tired of getting it
Are you
in the
tired?
eyes, ears, and nose? Get your husband.
The Autoblow. Save your eyes. God damn. Okay, man.
Oh, man.
Save your eyes. That's
Yeah,
a good one. Put that on. Save your eyes.
Save your eyes. Jesus, man. I'm literally sweating, man. I'm crying.
That'll do it right there.
Damn it, man. Maybe we should have waited to the end of the show for that, because goddamn, I don't know where to go from there, man. Other than Wayne, I'm
Wait a minute. All right, Wayne. Now you tell us about the Autoblow. Well,
Wayne, what's your experience with the Autoblow? Mine, money well spent.
We might have wanted to lube the audience up a little bit more before we went in there so hard.
We did, man. We just spit on it, dude. We just... Oh, shit, man.
Spit is horrible.
I don't know what
I've heard.
yeah.
I've heard.
That's what I read on the internet. I read it on the internet. God damn. I hope you guys out there listening are enjoying this like we are, man, because maybe we should have waited to the end of the show. I don't know how the hell we're going to get back. Well, Warren Zevon, everybody. Yeah, let's talk about Warren.
Never used the Autoblow.
Let me take
Okay. God, I would like to think Warren did at some point. Man.
So, I was telling a story last week about the board games.
Jesus. Yeah.
About Pikachu. And I accidentally said it wasn't Pikachu, it was Pinocchio. And I got it mixed up.
Oh, okay.
And she was trying to say Pinocchio, but said Pikachu.
Now, this was Dustin Fowler and Tanisha Fowler. Okay.
I don't think we said her name, but oh, well, last week.
Shit.
But I talked to Dustin, and he was like, "Oh, yeah, it was that." But he reminded me of another incident with the board game. We couldn't remember the name of the board game. It was like something like Outburst.
Okay.
Where you had to say a certain word before everybody else, and there was a category, with letters, like something with the letter A, or something with the letter J. Well, this one happened to be, the category was letter J.
Okay.
And the question was, it's always funnier when it's on you.
Don't say
letter J.
I already know where this is going.
Yeah.
Jizz.
Oh, God.
No, she said jizz.
She said it.
She said jizz. She said jizz, and it was the funniest fucking thing. The answer was joke.
Oh. She said jizz. Perfect, brother.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So as you guys out there can see, this is the theme of the day's show. At least for the first half, man. We'll try to transition to the second half.
When you're getting it all over you and you want to keep it.
Jesus, man.
Keep it in the wrap. Autoblow.
Autoblow.
I don't know about you guys.
Fun for the whole family.
Are you done with the Autoblow yet? No.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Yeah, man. And I don't know about you guys. I just want to...
Hey, who took my goddamn Autoblow?
No, it's more like, who didn't clean the fucking Autoblow? Okay, all right.
Worse.
I just want John to get that testing job.
I do too.
I mean, I want to get a petition started.
Yeah,
Let's get John, the 70-year-old John, his dream job of testing this blowjob machine.
Yeah.
Oh my!
Can you imagine how happy he is to get to work in the morning?
Oh my God, he'd never be late.
Oh no,
dude!
John's probably retired.
He ain't got shit to do, man.
He's just looking for something.
Hook him up with a Viagra prescription and let him loose, man.
God, no.
Dude, you know how production would be through the roof.
Yeah, I think
you're already running the risk of putting the Autoblow on a 70-year-old man.
I mean, for real, it needs to come with a warning. I wonder if he get paid by the nut or the hour. We'll give you $50 a nut or $10 an hour.
He'd be dead by the end of the day.
Man, I know, with a smile on his face. John loved his job.
He died doing what he loved.
And at the end of the day, ain't that all we can ever wish and hope for? Man, God bless John. Jesus, guys.
Oh, I hate to say this, but this reminds me of a story that if you guys ever heard the comedian Jim Jeffries.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He does a story about a friend of his who has multiple sclerosis, and the guy's like 29 years old. So him and his Jim and the guy's brother take him to the whorehouse in Australia, and he said the guy's never been with a woman in his life, and he said that he was afraid to take him because his mother said it would kill him, and he said, well, we won't get him fucked, we'll just get him a blowjob. And I think, boy, he could have benefited from the Autoblow. But they got him in there, and Jim said that his brother had him, lift him out of his chair for the girl, and he said, you grab his feet, and he said, and he put him in there, and he said, I unzipped his pants, and he said, let me tell you something. This guy, for being in cerebral palsy, was really blessed. He said, I not had a 9.5-inch wang hit me in the face.
God damn it, man.
And then when he went back, they said him and the brother went back. Said him and the brother went back in the other room to have a few drinks with the other girls, and said the girl came out a little while later, and they said, and they were afraid, that it really would kill him. And they said, she said, well, it's done. She said, and they go, is he dead? She said, well, I didn't check. So they run back in there and he said come all over the place. And he said, I don't care what you say, I'm grabbing him top this time. But you need to hear him tell it, because it's just hilarious.
That kind of reminds me of a story I read, and this has been probably about 4 or 5 years ago, maybe not quite that long, but a little while back. Mm-hmm. But it was this guy who was contemplating suicide. And in fact, he had already decided that he was going to kill him. And this isn't a joke or anything. This is a legit headline. So he decided to go down to Mexico to get some pills to take his own life. So he gets down there, I think Tijuana or somewhere like that. So he's talking to the cab driver, and he's like, hey, I want some barbiturates, Didn't tell him why, but he was just like, that was his goal. And the cab driver's like, no, but I can get you cocaine. The guy's like, well, okay. So he got him some cocaine. He was like, well, hey, let me take you up here to the local whorehouse. Hooked him up with some Viagra as well, so we wouldn't have liquor dick or a coke dick. So apparently, basically the headline read, after 3 days of cocaine and multiple threesomes with prostitute, man decides he doesn't want to kill himself.
There you go. There you are.
God bless that
That's an
guy.
uplifting story.
It really is. It's heartwarming,
it
brother.
really does.
It does, man. It's touching.
It is.
It's very touching.
And a lot of people would not appreciate it, but I really do.
I do. When I read that, man, I smiled because this guy went to Mexico to kill himself.
Exactly.
So he had multiple threesomes and cocaine and Viagra and booze and all this other shit.
And I understand.
And now he wants to live.
Yeah. I understand there are people that look down on that, and I do not understand why.
I mean, shit, man. Which would you rather do? I mean,
you basically not only have something to live for, but you have a memory to look back on.
Man. It's like, this is what, like, now obviously nobody here on the podcast is putting over, drug use or prostitution. I'm just saying.
Never.
At least not officially.
Never.
That's another reason, man, we got to get video just where you can see us all with this bullshit look on our face. No, we don't condone drugs and hookers.
No, let's
Or if you look around.
Yeah, let's not talk about the drugs or the ladies of the evening, as we say.
Yeah, no. We would never condone that, man.
No,
we were very
ever.
wholesome. But seriously, man, when I read that, I'm like, so this guy literally went to go commit suicide. He was just in that bad of a place. 3 days later, after, coke and hookers.
Hell yeah.
I want to live, motherfuckers. I want to live.
Yep.
So good for him, man. Good for him. God bless him. God bless him. God bless John, the Autoblow tester.
God bless the taxi driver.
Hey, man. God,
Seriously.
The unsung hero in this story, man.
Yeah.
That man
Taxi
saved a
driver.
life.
Yeah.
He literally saved a life, man. God bless him.
You don't see that on Taxi Cab Confessions.
That's right. Oh, man. And you should.
You should.
And
You really should.
You should.
Yep.
Well, guys, let's talk a little bit. Well, first of all, since we're talking about jizz and shit like that.
Nice.
Wayne, you said you watched the latest movie with Paige from WWE
yes.
Fighting With My Family.
Exactly.
Y'all like that little segue?
That was a perfect segue.
It's got jizz. Well, not that movie.
No. Her other movie.
Her previous
movies.
Yeah.
But I had talked to you guys
it's a
before.
load.
Yeah, I had talked to you guys before about the Mickey Rourke movie, The Wrestler, which we all agreed was a great movie.
Absolutely.
And even if you're not a wrestling fan, it's a great movie. Just the acting in it alone, it just is powerful.
Yes.
And I'm not saying that I was, basically looking for a wrestling movie, but I saw this movie was available, on my my whatever you call it, next line up, movie that you can see.
Right.
And I thought, what the heck, I'll just flip over there and watch it. And it started off, kind of good because it was like, a family of wrestlers, which is kind of funny and things like that. And
Good
then,
premise.
Yeah.
Man.
And it goes on, and you wonder, what is this girl's problem? Why is she such a bitch? I mean, really, it was a terrible movie. Yeah. I thought. Now, opinions may vary.
Sure.
But I thought it was, poorly done. I mean, they had The Rock in it, which I guess was, he was mandatory because I think he kind of
executive produced
it. And they had Vince Vaughn as a wrestler coach, and I didn't buy him as that.
Yeah.
I'll say this: I commend you for getting through it. Because I attempted that movie. I made it about 15 minutes. Let me tell you where I drew the line. And I drew the line as the credits were rolling for this movie, or the intro credits. It starts out back in the 90s. Mm-hmm. They're watching the Attitude Era of WWE with the big gold belt that the WWE had at the time. You know. And so this shows this kid watching it, and he has a cardboard belt, like we all made when we were kids and stuff. But the cardboard belt was the new WWE Championship belt. In other words, this thing's set in the 90s. They're watching, Attitude Era 1998, 99. But his cardboard belt has got the big WWE logo in it, which right there I was like, well, fuck this.
Right.
I mean, seriously, I'm like, well, okay, I'm done. But I'll give it a few more minutes, which is exactly what I did before I hit stop. Yeah.
You can get put out of a movie by something as simple as that, as something incongruity, I guess you call it. That I was telling you, like, they did the Bruce Lee story. They had a non-martial artist play Bruce Lee, and people were saying, why would you be upset about that? I said, it's not the same. You cannot be. I said, if they'd have got Jet Li to do it, he could have done it perfect.
Yes,
but they got that guy Jason Lee.
Yeah.
And just because his last name is the same doesn't mean he can do it.
Exactly. And it's like, certain movies you can get away with, like music movies, for instance. Of course, we know that the guy who played Freddie Mercury doesn't sound like Freddie Mercury. You can overdub.
Exactly.
Or hell, man, I'll even look at like Val Kilmer in his role as Jim Morrison in The Doors. Yeah. He actually sang those parts and sounded like him. You can do stuff like that, but when you talk about martial arts, man, you got to know what you're doing. Yeah. It has to have that realistic.
Another really good music one that it's going way back, but Gary Busey, before he went all crazy, did the Buddy Holly story, and he sang, and he was amazing.
And that's a great movie.
It is a really good movie.
It is awesome.
It is one of the best movies out there.
Yes,
but the thing of it is, like you say, I can accept the fact that like you say, the guy up there playing Freddie Mercury is not singing.
Right.
I can accept the fact that the guy who is in the Morrison movie is singing, but the guys aren't playing their instruments.
Right.
You give that as a leap of faith. But when you see somebody who is doing something, or there's something completely out of character, like
like doing a wrong stance,
making a move that nobody would move. Like,
it takes you out of it.
And like having a prop like that. There was a movie one time, I cannot remember the name of it, but it was a racing movie, and they did so much. I mean, most people in North Carolina growing up, I had NASCAR in my blood.
Sure.
And I'm watching this movie, and it was terrible. I mean, everything they did was just stupid. I mean, they were showing them going to buy the tires at a tire store. What the hell?
Come on, man. I mean, it's, probably for a mainstream person who doesn't follow NASCAR, for instance, or like when fighting with my family, a wrestling fan like me, like we all are. People might be able to overlook those little things.
And you can understand that.
Sure.
But, it's just as easy to make it right or good than to just screw it up.
That's my thing, Wayne. If you're going to put all this time and money into a film, like fighting with my family, let's just use that one. Why not have that belt, that you're watching on television be the same belt that you're having on the movie set in that time, instead of a belt that was made 20 years later?
Get themselves over.
It makes no sense.
Going back to the wrestler, you guys know what it's like behind the scenes, and you've told me that this cut it pretty close.
Damn close, man.
Yeah.
But
pretty damn close.
Someone like myself who doesn't know was still really entertained by that. But I could also see the realism in it, to me. And just like I said, it was a really good movie.
It's like that realism translates to the average moviegoer, not just the fans or the people that was in wrestling.
What about The Dirt? The Dirt was a great movie.
Yes, absolutely. Now, there was some little, we talked about that, the Motley Crue movie, there was like the Hulkamania t-shirt, for instance,
too early.
Was a little bit too early for it. But all in all, man, I love The Dirt. Yeah. Right now, that's actually my favorite music movie as of right now.
Yeah. Right.
Now, I need to go back and rewatch Ray, because it had been Ray. Ray is amazing.
They did a good job with Ray.
Jamie Foxx.
Great, outstanding, deserved the Oscar.
Definitely deserved it, man, and did the vocals. I mean, that was him. I mean, can't put Jamie Foxx over enough for that.
It's amazing to me that he was able to do that in such a way where it wasn't like he was making a caricature or making fun of someone who has a disability.
Yes,
you have to. I mean, we've all seen Ray Charles, the real Ray Charles, on television, and how he moves to the music and how he plays. You can do that as like an impersonation and not be true to it, but he did it well.
Dude, there was times watching Ray that I forgot that was Jamie Foxx. That's rare, dude. In fact, I don't know if I can remember another movie, especially a music type movie that took me that far or had me that far into it that I forgot that I'm watching an actor.
I think that was that was with me with The Dirt, like with
Tommy
Kelly's Tommy Lee.
Tommy Lee's character. Yeah,
it's like I could see it in the others. I'm like, okay,
absolutely,
it doesn't look exactly.
This
guy looks like Tommy Lee, acts like Tommy Lee.
His movements.
That's Tommy Lee.
Yeah.
As far as what they did on that was just really just I bought it. I mean, as music people, we looked at it and said, yes, I'll accept this.
Yes, especially Machine Gun Kelly's roles, especially.
Right.
I think it's those little nuances, those little small details that put it over, dude. Just like in a wrestling show, just like anything with entertainment, it's those little things.
If you can get those right, or just like say, just the way somebody does a guitar riff, or even looks like they're trying to play the guitar. We've seen those people who get up there and do the hand slap back and forth, and it's not, you can tell you're not playing a guitar.
It's not the real thing. I can almost go back to the Doors movie for that.
Right.
With some of the band members who you could kind of see, okay, it's a little bit, but Val's performance, I thought.
The guy with the piano, the guy on the keyboards, I can't remember who it was that played it. Was it Kyle MacLachlan?
I can't remember, man.
I don't
remember the actors.
But he did a good job on keeping his hands. I mean, you could sort of see that his hands were not just randomly going. He was trying to actually keep up with it.
Yeah.
And, like I say, only an idiot like myself would look for that, but I do.
But you do, man. You do look into it.
And you were sitting there and you're going, okay, he's actually looking like he's playing the piano, which is what he's supposed to be doing.
Exactly. And I think a lot of that just goes into what you're into. Like if you're into wrestling, then you're going to notice that belt. If you're into music, and I'm into both, so I'm going to pick both of these type of movies apart.
Yeah.
Then you see that, like, well, that's not the real way to play the guitar. That's not the real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or if you're a fan of the band, well, Tommy Lee didn't walk like that. Vince Neil didn't do like that.
And if you're saying you didn't see the end of the movie with the girl,
nah.
Okay. The main thing that
brother, I didn't get to the 15-minute point.
The main thing that would have made you probably scream your head off is they put her in. Sorry,
there's that pop.
There's the pop. They put her in the ring against. I cannot remember her name, but it was another famous wrestler. And I think she played herself. Right. And she was out there like she didn't know what was going to happen. And the next thing you know, she wins the belt. I said, come on. You know that you're going to win before you step in there.
That's the thing, man.
I mean, I understand that it's
kayfabe.
But kayfabe's dead.
Yep.
Kayfabe's been dead for 20 years, man. Yep. It's like, come on, we all know. Well, we'll go back to the wrestler for that. They showed him actually do a blade job. And this is also a good opportunity for me to plug some other podcaster friends of ours. Long Walk Talks actually just had a episode about the wrestler.
Okay.
Featuring David Hayes. David Hayes is our friend that comes down. Long Walk Talks just put it out a couple weeks ago. I haven't listened to it yet. Confession here. I got to put that out there. It's on my list.
Yeah.
But I just want to put that out there. I can't speak because I've listened to it yet. But if they go as into much detail as they have on their other shows, I'm sure if you're a fan of the movie The Wrestler, you would really enjoy this podcast. I'm looking forward to listening to it.
I like a good movie that, if it's a sport movie or a music movie, it has to have some sort of basis to me in reality. You don't want to see, and I'm not talking about like a comedy. I mean, we've all seen, or I think I've seen the movie Major League.
Yeah, great movie, man.
Great movie.
I love that movie.
It was a great movie. It was funny as all get out. None of the guys except Charlie Sheen knew how to play baseball. Yeah, right. You could tell. None of them could do a darn thing. I mean, they had people out there. Wesley Snipes, God, for him to be such an athletic-looking person, he looked terrible.
but the movie, though,
the movie is great, and you forgive it for that because it's not supposed to be a documentary or a biopic or anything.
That's it, man.
You're just supposed to sit there and laugh.
It's a fun movie,
exactly. At these idiots who are trying to win the pennant. I mean, and it's a great movie.
And it even kind of puts it over more.
Right.
To have that fun.
And that's what I like about it.
Well, guys, I tell you what, man, believe it or not, we're at about the 30-minute mark, and I got a couple songs lined up I want to play today. Because, whenever Wayne comes on, man, it's a music-heavy episode. But we're going to take a risk today. And I don't want to admit to breaking the law, because I don't know if we're breaking the law, what we're about to start doing here in the next couple seconds. I don't know if it's actually a copyright thing or not. But, guys, I've always wanted to play Warren Zevon on this show.
Okay.
Obviously, they won't let
tough.
us. Yeah. I tried doing that with Cody Jinks a while back. Had no luck, man. I mean, I ran into I shouldn't say I ran into nothing but brick walls, but I sure as hell didn't get over the obstacles, man. I got a little traction there, but I never got to finish the deal. I didn't get to seal the deal. So what I did, man, is there's a website that I want to put over and let you guys know about as well. It's called archive.org.
Okay.
And this thing has all kinds of stuff on it. It's got video games, books, movies, music. I'm not really sure what the copyright issue is with this stuff, but somebody had uploaded a bunch of live Warren Zevon covers. In other words, other songs that Warren Zevon covers in concert. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, hey, we may, and since this is on archive.org, which I understand to be pretty much I don't want to say public domain, but I think it may be public domain. You know, so we may have to take this episode down and re-upload it without the music. I don't know. We'll see in the next few days. This is Sunday today. I figured Tuesday or Wednesday we'll know if it's going to...
Or have a dark spot in the...
Yeah. So in other words, if you're listening to this in a couple days and there's no song, well, we got fucking busted. It's basically what it is. Yeah. So we actually got 3 songs lined up of Warren Zevon playing other people's songs in concert. We all got to pick one.
Yeah.
We may actually go with 4, man, because I know there's another one that we were talking about playing as well, so we may even do 4 today. But I want to go ahead and kick it off with my pick, and this song is called "Back in the High Life." I love this song, dude. I can't remember. Wayne, do you remember who does it originally?
Stevie Winwood.
Yep. That's right. It is Winwood. Yep. Always loved this song.
Another good artist.
Great artist, brother. Yes. And Warren actually covers this song on his album "My Ride Is Here," and I like Warren's version a lot, but I love the original, man. Always have. But I love Warren's studio version, and I really like this live version too.
He does a great job. He really does.
He really does, and it's just Warren in an acoustic guitar, and it's an amazing cover. So we're going to give it a shot, guys. We're actually going to be able to play Warren Zevon on the podcast today. We'll see if it lasts. Who knows, man? We'll take a little bit of a risk, you know. If any copyright people are out there listening, hey, we didn't fucking know.
Hey.
You know, but we're going to give it
just get an Autoblow.
That's what I'm saying, man. Chill the fuck out. Bust one and chill the fuck out and let us play this goddamn Warren Zevon
Coconut
song.
oil out here.
I'm sure it even smells good. So there you go.
It's good for you.
Good for you. Oh, God. Anyway, guys, the name of this artist, the late, great Warren Zevon, the name of the song is "Back in the High Life." So keep it right here, Pubs. We're going to be right back.
Yep.
Just to make the good parts last. When you're born to run, so hard to just slow down. So don't be surprised to see me in the brighter part of town. I'll be back in the high life again. All the doors I closed one time will open up again. I'll be back in the high life again. All the eyes that watched me once will smile and take me in. We'll drink and dance with one hand free, have the world so easily. Won't we be a sight to see? Back in the high still out there, the way you used to be. We'll have ourselves a time, and we'll dance till the morning come. We'll let the night time roll until we're done, and we're back in the high life again. All the doors I closed one time will open up again. We'll be back in the high life again. All the eyes that watched us once will smile and take us in. We'll drink and dance with one hand free, have the world so easily. Won't we be a sight to see? Back in the high we'll be back in the high lost us once will smile and take us in. We'll be back in the high life.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Guys, if y'all even knew half the shit we talked about when we go to break, once again, we'll talk a little bit about that later.
Yeah.
But once again, man, that was the late, great Warren Zevon, one of my all-time favorite singer-songwriters, Wayne.
He's incredible.
He is, man. And if you know, now, to give a little peek behind the curtain here, we actually didn't listen to that song while you guys did. We've heard it.
We've heard it.
We've heard it. We've already heard it. But if you notice in that song, he actually forgets the lyrics there
Yeah.
toward the end of it, you know.
And it's it's understandable when you're doing someone else's tune.
Yeah.
It would sort of throw you off, but it's okay.
But he did it funny though.
Yeah.
The crowd's laughs.
Oh,
I mean,
he's got the charm. There's no doubt about it.
Yes, he's got that. In other words, he can mess up the lyrics, kind of I do it like that, and the crowd ate it up.
Exactly.
Because that was who Warren Zevon was, Wayne. You know, I know last couple times you've been on, you know, we've talked about when we got to see Warren.
Yeah.
You know, Warren ran really late that night. It was just him as an acoustic show.
Yeah.
So his humor wasn't as on point that night.
He was a bit irritated,
Just slightly,
and way too sober.
Very, very, and so was the crowd. I mean, the crowd wasn't really having it either, man.
No.
We wanted to hear Werewolves of London. We wanted to go the fuck home.
Right. We and you and I and Mike were there. And did we bring anybody else, or just the three of
I
us?
think
wasn't it?
Scott may have been with us.
He may have been.
It seems like it.
But we were, like I say, we were sitting there, and I remember there were very few places to sit except at the bar.
Right.
Which, if you weren't drinking, was a very bad place to sit. And I'm sitting there, and people are looking at me like, "Are you going to get up?" No. Anytime soon? No.
Are you drinking?
No. And I look at the guy behind the counter and say, "Sun drop."
yeah, keep them coming.
They could actually sell sun drops then, you know.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But you know, one thing I was going to say about that performance we just heard versus when we saw him, and also I saw him acoustic again.
Yeah, you got to see another different show, and I think you I didn't get to see that one, but you told me you actually thought it was a little bit better than the one we'd been to.
I did, and I think a lot of the reason was because, you know, there wasn't all that stress there. Him being late, you know, the bus breaking down, and his sense of humor was much more on display.
Yeah, he wasn't irritated.
So. No, not at all, man.
That's always good to get.
Yes, because you get the full package, man, because that's part of who Warren Zevon was, man. He had this dark sense of humor, just like Hunter Thompson.
Thompson.
That's why they were such good friends, because they had similar outlooks, kind of dark and bleak and negative, but always with a smile on your face.
Yeah, you have to have that. And I think a lot of people, you know, will look at Warren and say, you know, some of his stuff doesn't make sense. Yeah, but it's not supposed to. It's kind of funny. That's the whole point.
Well, that's like when we have a show with Wayne on and we call it the Warren Zevon Show, and we don't talk about fucking Warren Zevon. It's the irony, man. It's the funny irony.
It's the funny irony.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like life.
Right.
I mean, it's just the irony of life.
It is the irony of life.
And Warren knew that probably better than almost anybody else.
And he was a wordsmith and a half.
Yes,
I mean,
man. Yes. And that charisma he just put out on stage, you know. Because I was going to say, when I got to see him that second time, acoustic, I saw him with a live band as well.
Right.
Probably my least favorite, to be completely honest with you.
And I understand why that would be, because he was basically, when he does that kind of stuff, you know, he's sort of trying to spread out the music a little bit.
Doing more of the hits than just an intimate night with Warren Zevon.
Right.
Because that second show, man, he actually made a joke about, like, well, it was either this or your local Waffle House. So he made fun of his being obscure, pretty much, man. His cult-like status, he understood it, and he embraced it, and it was funny.
And it still bothers me that people don't, I mean, not that they don't know him. I mean, you can not know a certain artist.
Sure.
But the people that are in the industry that don't give him the respect he deserves, he's not been inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Which is a... Go ahead, brother. You can say it.
It's a freaking crime, and I shouldn't have said freaking.
You can say fucking on here, brother.
I forgot. But it's a fucking...
We talked about the fucking Autoblow, man.
Right. And I don't know why I had a brain bomb. But it's like I say, they should know, and they should put him in the Hall of Fame.
Damn right, man. And
if for no other reason than, you know, just the
recognition.
Yeah, for the few hits he had for Linda Ronstadt and
yeah.
What song was it, man? Because basically we got this song from a collection of live, as I said before, we went to the break on archive.com, and there's another song, and I can't remember which one it was, Wayne, but one of the people, it may have been Into the Mystic, possibly. but one of his musicians that he had on stage with him playing the electric guitar toured with Linda Ronstadt. So they made a joke. Warren said, I'm sure you played Hasten Down the Wind every night, right? And the other guy's like, no, Warren, we never played your songs. Warren's like, what? No, it's almost like a stand-up routine on top of this beautifully done music, man. You know, man, you can't. That's the kind of spirit and talent that you can never replicate, man. It's one of a kind.
I think you're right, and I think that a lot of people will, that are not into music as much as you and I are, or anything. You know, you have to have something like, whether it's wrestling, it's sports, it's music, something that just gives you a little bit of joy in life that you can sit back and. Because if you don't, it's a terrible time,
brother. Yes, it is, man. Life is what you make it,
and I was I was in there the other day in my room just listening to music, just one, and I was not listening to a single artist. I was just going through and finding stuff that I like to hear, and you get on a train of thought, and you listen to, like, say, Jackson Browne, Warren Zevon, and then out of nowhere I said, how about a little Dio, and just and you can do that nowadays, and it's fine because you're not trying to program a dance. You're just getting your mood going.
Yeah, man, it's all about how you feel.
Oh, I was the same way just the other day with some Stryper, and you posted a meme. Hateful ass.
Dude, that was hilarious, man. Name another Motley Crue song other than Panama, and it was a picture of Stryper. I love those kind of memes, man. Those are hilarious.
Hateful.
Because we could just go on, man. We're talking about like White Snake doing round and round. I mean, I think that's Rat. I mean, just like all the way down the line.
Hateful
man.
damn shit.
I love that shit. I love it.
Hateful damn shit.
Come on, man. Don't take it personally.
But I heard Stryper, and I was like, oh man, Stryper.
The hell.
So I just went, straight and like, I gotta hear some more Stryper now. So I went through the album. Was like, oh yeah, and it just went from like there to like speed metal.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. This is where we're going now.
Dude, I mean, I've had days where I'll literally start out with Tupac and end with fucking Hank Jr.
Yeah.
I mean, I love all genres of music, I can usually find at least one song out of everything. Even opera, man, that one song Ozzy used to come out to. I don't know the name of it, but that all evil sounding song.
Yeah, Carmina Burana.
That's it. Yeah, man. Hell, I like it. And I hate opera, man, but I like that.
Yeah.
It's one of those great things about. And I think music, more than anything else, gives you that ability to sort of affect your mood better than about anything else. Even watching something. Or I mean, I love to read something, but when I'm reading something, I'm sort of focused in on that.
Right.
But music, like I say, you can sort of listen to a song, get a picture, or not, or just enjoy the music.
And it's a freaking time machine, man. I mean, I can listen to certain songs and I can go right back to when I was 16 years old.
Do you guys have a song that is a guilty pleasure, something that if it comes on a radio in your car with your buddies, you turn it off? But if it's in there, you sort of crank it up and sing along?
Well, first and foremost, yes, I do. But I'm moving away from it being guilty pleasures, brother. I'm almost like, what, fuck it. If I want to listen to Lady Gaga and Skrillex do Poker Face, and motherfucker, I'm going to listen to it, man.
I love Gaga.
I like Gaga.
There's no shame in that.
I like Gaga.
Yeah. Yeah, she really is.
I like some Britney,
The one thing I can probably pinpoint is like Justin Bieber. No, not Justin Bieber. Justin Timberlake.
I like Timberlake, dude.
Yeah.
I think he's got some great songs. He's
Bringing
a great
sexy
vocalist.
back.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that the first 20 years of his life he thought he was a black guy and talked like it from Los Angeles, Compton.
Yeah.
I like him.
Yeah.
No, he's talented.
He is talented. But I mean, if you listen to the first interviews of him, was a joke, man. We were down there. You're from front. You're a blonde-haired, blue-eyed guy from Memphis. Shut
the fuck up, man. It's fronting.
But
he got over.
I understand that. He did mature. He really did.
Sure.
But the thing, one that I have, and it's irritating me now because they got it on that damn Geico commercial. Is White Snake's Here I Go. I love that song,
dude. That's one of those time machine songs for me. When I hear that song, I go back to 16. I won't bring up the girl's name.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's a girl pops right. We're still friends to this day. God bless her. She's actually with a really good friend of mine too, so it really worked out. But when I hear that song, 16. riding around in my car,
Yeah.
love sick, you know what I'm saying? But that's one. But Mike, you don't like that
I
song.
hate that fucking song.
Really?
And I understand why. I
Yeah.
really do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you,
I
man,
hate
but
it
I
back-
love it, man.
I hated
love
it
that
back
song.
then.
Yeah.
Right,
And
right.
if you hated it back then, you're going to hate it now.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you know, now I'm actually going to kind of devil advocate that a little bit, man. There has been songs back in the day that I was like, that's whack. I don't like that shit. If I hear it now, I'll crank it up, especially a lot of 90s R&B music.
Yeah. Well,
See-
now that's another type of way. You like to say you're sort of changing not changing your style, but
Yeah.
you're
mature,
basically
man.
listening. Yeah.
I think the biggest thing that I had a problem with coming up, man, especially my younger days, if you were a metal fan, then you couldn't listen to country music or rap
Right,
music
right.
or R&B
Right.
music, you know, especially rap music, because there's a big rivalry with rap and especially, you know, hip hop and rap and like metal back in the early days of hip hop because of the sample issues. Dude, when Eddie Van Halen took Tone Loc to court, motherfucker, that was metal versus rap. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? I mean, that shit straight up went to court.
That never bothered me.
Well, it did.
That
It did
never
me.
affected me.
It did me for a while.
Because when Tone Loc came out, I was like, "Holy crap! Man, this is a great, you know, Beastie Boys,
Young MC.
Young MC,
Young MC was the
Yeah.
shit, man. DJ Easy Rock and who was it, man? It Takes Two. You know what I'm saying? DJ Easy Rock.
Oh
shit.
Oh, you
It's-
stumped me.
It's one of the greatest hip hop songs of all time. Dance hip hop songs of all time.
You stumped me. You really have.
DJ Easy Rock and God darn it. Anyway, man, like for me, when I started hanging out with some friends of mine who was more into hip hop, because all my friends, you know, like metal. You know, Mike, you know, you're one of those friends. You know, it was all about Motley Crue,
Right.
Van Halen, Sabbath, Ozzy. I started hanging out with some other people here and there. You know, we was smoking pot, riding around with they big hip hop heads.
Right.
Well, shit, man, you know, and you kind of open your mind up to it, especially you hitting a little joint or drinking a little beer or something, you know.
Rob Bass.
Rob Bass,
thank
man.
you.
I felt so bad that I forgot
Oh
Rob
my
Bass,
God.
man.
Yeah.
Damn it, man.
I could not. You stumped me. I couldn't believe that.
And let's talk a little bit about that song. Before I was just going to say, man, it helped me break out of my box, because when you put yourself in a box musically, you're going to miss something.
Exactly.
You know, but this song right here, Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock, It Takes Two,
Yep.
that shit was ahead of its time, man. To this day, if you go back and listen to those samples and that mix they got going on,
Oh yeah.
dude, nothing has really came close to that kind of mix, dude, to this day. And that shit was
I
hot,
think
man.
a lot of that was misunderstood because, like you said, it was looked upon as stealing.
It was.
And a lot of people, and like I say, I was guilty of it too, because I was just getting so. And the only person that I'm still mad about it at is Kid Rock for stealing the
Werewolves of London.
yeah. I hated him for. I still hate him for that.
Now there was also a lot of rivalry, you know, even in the music itself, because there's a lot of hip hop artists that would take shots at metal acts. You
Yeah.
know, and I mean maybe some of these shots were justified. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah.
You know, talking about looking like girls and stuff, you know, stuff like that. But you know, when I started getting out of that box, dude, to me, hip hop is tremendous music. I mean, I really compare hip hop to country.
Right.
Even though they are on the opposite ends of the spectrum, musically speaking, instrumentation and everything, you know, real country music obviously is more organic. You know, you have more acoustic guitars, banjos. I'm talking about real country music. And, you know, over here with hip hop, it's all samples. You know, it's all generated music, you know. But when you talk about I guess the soul of it, you know, the realism of it, when it gets you in your heart.
The
those
words are their words.
Yes, man.
And
Yeah,
that's it.
That's it. George Jones always said, for a good country song, you need 3 chords and the truth.
Right.
I'll take it a step further with hip hop. All you need is 2 turntables and a
Yeah.
microphone to
Yeah.
quote Beck.
Right.
But,
and I have
the
no,
truth.
And I
Yeah.
have no
You know?
problem with that, because, like I say, there has been some that, like I say, at working at Discworks when I did, you know, I got exposed to a lot of different kind of music, and some of it I just loved, and some of, and like I say, it's hard to really pick out something that you hated, but there was a lot of music out there that I just could not get my ears around.
Right.
And I think that you know, at first, you know, hip hop and rap was just not into me, you know, not something I was into, but I was, you know, I could sort of appreciate it. And Scott, God, he got into it big time. Oh man.
Right. Yeah.
Scott was one of those big experimenters with all kinds of music.
Yeah.
I mean, he loved everything, and he, you know, like I said, he was our big jazz buff, and he would go up to New York and go to the Blue Note Jazz Club all the time.
Oh, wow.
And he loved it up there. But the thing of it was, he also would say, you got to listen to this on, like you basically saying, like on a different level. So you can't sit there and say, hey, that's from so and so.
Right.
Yeah.
Just listen to it like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're talking about a few weeks ago. We were talking about. I heard you say you like to watch the people do the reaction to music on YouTube.
Yeah.
There was a guy doing a reaction to Bruce Hornsby in The Range, doing that guitar. I mean that piano start where that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And he goes like this. He stops and it's a black dude. And he says, "Wait a minute, he stole that from Tupac."
It's Tupac.
Yeah. He said he stole that from Tupac, and then he
Yeah.
goes and looks and he says, "Oh shit." Tupac stole it
from him.
Right.
Yes.
But I mean, it's, and I'm sitting there laughing. I'm sitting there, and he likes the song, and I'm sitting there saying, that's one good thing about it. It can introduce people to the song.
Exactly, man. It can introduce you to that genre of music. And that's one thing I like about these reaction videos.
Yeah.
Because I actually got turned on to a new channel just the other day. I forget it's Steph and Jay, I believe, but they call themselves the Sippingtons because they like to drink while they're doing it. And you can tell, man, they straight buzzing. They're hilarious, man.
I'll have to check them out.
I think it's called Jay and Steph or something like that. I'll send you a link to it, Wayne. But man, they are hilarious because they're drinking. They'll tell you that we're drinking vodka tonight. We got our buzz on, and they just did AC/DC Back in Black.
Yeah.
Right.
And this is an older black couple, so they're not familiar with this stuff. Loving it, man.
Yeah.
They're jamming out.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, this is the shit," know. And
There's a lot of them on there that have never heard this music before.
Yes.
And what I love to see is someone who has never heard Leonard Skinner before sit there and listen to Sweet Home Alabama or Freebird.
Yeah, man, I tell you, I think in fact, speaking of Freebird, there's one, I forget the guy's name again, but he's hilarious, man. This guy's a trip. But after Freebird, after that long solo, he just gets up and walks out of the room. He doesn't say a word. He's just, he's dumbfounded.
Emotional.
He's emotional, man. It got him.
It's emotional.
But he just gets up. And he is speechless, man.
Yeah.
It leaves him speechless.
Yeah.
And I think the reason I like these reaction videos because it almost feels like you're showing a new friend what you like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You want to get their take on it.
Yes.
And a lot of people have a really good take on music.
Yeah.
Some of them will misinterpret things.
Yeah.
And you'll sit there and say, well, that's not where he was going, but okay.
I've noticed with the hip hop fans, like the younger people that are hip hop heads, they will tend to usually overanalyze the lyrics more for these rock and roll songs because they're so used to hip hop, man.
Right.
Because hip hop, like country, goes deep into the lyricism. It goes deep into the meaning of the song. Or a lot of times in rock and roll, man, it's just bullshit to put over the music sometimes.
Right.
You can just straight up
Party.
Yeah.
Party.
Yeah, it don't have to make a lot of sense sometimes, and that's what I like to tell some of these reaction people. It's like, hey, it's rock and roll, brother. You ain't got to read that deep into it. It ain't a hip hop song, man. It ain't easy talking about doing drive-bys or people starving in the fucking streets. Like a lot of these old hip hop songs would do. So I've noticed that, man. It seems like the hip hop heads do tend to. Well, what does he mean by this lyric right here? What is the competence of love?
Yeah.
It's like, it ain't nothing. It's rock and roll, baby.
We're still trying to figure that out.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we quit. We gave up.
Yeah, that one
ago.
stumped everybody.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So we just gave it up.
It's Steve Miller, man. Let it ride. Let it ride.
So now, when Van Halen says they're hot for Teacher, does that? No, it's like no. Man.
Okay, really, you need to just sort of back up.
Yeah.
You were talking about Stryper, and you were talking about you got into like the mood of that. When you're listening to something like Stryper, what other bands can you sort of put into there that like sort of keeps your train of music going or something? Because once you listen to that, do you go back to something like you say, like a Judas Priest or
exactly. I mean, you start kind of going, especially with the vocals, and Stryper had great music, but I think it was the vocals that really pushed Stryper and those amazing vocals.
I have no problems with that. That is a definite true statement.
I think the vocals are always what sets the bands apart, man. Yeah. You can be the greatest technically sound musical band, but if your vocals are just subpar or just well enough, you're not going to get over. Right. It's always look at David Lee Roth.
Yeah,
man. I mean that's a prime example.
Yeah, and he just. It's with Roth. David Lee was just. I when he was with Van Halen, I think they had sort of like lightning in a bottle.
They did those first 4 albums, bro.
But when they separated and Hagar went in, I think Hagar brought them along. I don't think Van Halen suffered that much.
No. Hell, if anything, man, they elevated.
And the fact that Roth just sort of floundered. in his own, like I'm the star. No, you're not really.
David Lee, man, he went from music guy to iconic guy, and then he kind of dropped off. In other words,
it was a shame because he had some of the best players in that solo.
God, man, the Eat 'em and Smile lineup, Billy Sheehan, Steve Vai.
I mean, really.
Give me a break, man.
Greg on drums.
Yeah, the keyboardist, I forget, but he was phenomenal, and they were rock and roll as hell, man. I mean, that's a great album.
That was, but the thing of it was, he didn't know how to pull it off, and I swear I don't understand why.
Yeah. Well, guys, we were talking a little bit about the vocalists and stuff, and I'm a big fan of the WTAUP Rich Nation radio show that does the independent acts, and guys, once again, I highly recommend it. Wayne, I think you would love it too. But one thing that I've noticed on that show with some, not all, but some of these bands that we haven't played on the podcast, the music's great, but some of the vocals,
right,
they're in key, they're
Yeah.
technically sound, but it's just not.
You can't find that.
There's no personality.
It's hard to find that anymore.
It really is.
Like we were talking about Stryper, going from Stryper to Halford and Judas Priest.
Yeah.
Going from that to say Jolene Turner and Yngwie Malmsteen.
Yeah. Good example, man.
Really?
Yeah.
It's just not.
Yeah.
I mean, Yngwie's the shit, obviously.
Yeah.
But come on, man. If you don't, it's almost, dude. Vocalists are almost like pro wrestlers to me. They're sound, they're solid, but there's no personality, dude. Look at Ozzy, man. Ozzy's not the greatest vocalist, but I think everybody in here will agree.
Yes,
he's one of the greatest of all time.
Exactly. The thing of it is, like you say, you got the vocals with the power, the feeling. You look at somebody like Johnny Cash.
You
look at somebody like Leonard Cohen,
dude.
Tom Waits. These people, their
Warren
voices,
Zevon.
Their voices are not what you would call the on the scales of musicality. They're not
textbook.
They're not textbook, but they are just powerful. They're good. They bring the emotion out of the song that they want,
and they have personality.
Because that, I think, is what really gets us in some music.
Yeah.
If you've ever, there's another video I was thinking about. There's a guy, he's a comedian named Bo Burnham. Have you ever heard of him?
That sounds familiar.
He's about 30 years old, but he looks like he's 12, and he's a genius.
Right.
He goes on there and he does a song. He does song parodies, kind of like Weird Al, and he does the song where he does he says, "This is a modern love song," and he goes, repeat stuff, and then that's what he does.
That's all thing.
He says, "I look into your eyes. All girls have eyes," and repeat stuff, and it's just on, and it's hilarious how he does it. And then he does the country song where he does up there, "Cold beer, pickup truck."
There it is.
And he goes, "Cowboy boots that you don't know I spent $3,000 for." And he said, "Trying to be just like you, but I slept in a bed made of gold last night." Just the BS of some guy trying to tell trying to tell you he's a redneck, but
spent $3,000 on some cowboy boots.
Right. And like I said, if you get a chance to see him, his name's Bo Burnham. He's a comedian. He's really funny. And he does a lot of those songs, but he does a lot of good stand-up comedy too, where he talks about stuff. And he's really a smart guy. And I don't think he's on TV much because he does have a tendency to go way
kind of gets out on the limb a little bit.
Talking extreme stuff. But I kind of like that about him. And the thing of it is, like, when we listen to music, and and I've listened to some music that is not my taste and stuff like that. And I can sort of see why people like it. Like I said, it is the hook that keeps coming. It's the repeat of the song.
Sure, man. Yeah.
And it's just it's easy to dance to. I mean, this is the things, and young people are more susceptible to it because they want to have fun, and they don't want to sit there and worry about the lyrics of this and lyrics of that. They want to have fun.
They want to dance,
and they want to dance, and that's why you can think about the younger stars. Like you talking about a while ago, Justin Timberlake. He matured. But he actually does have a good voice.
Oh yeah, and he can dance.
He can sing and dance.
He's a performer.
And he's done acting too, which and
he's a pretty damn decent actor, man. Yeah.
The one movie he did where I cannot remember the name of it, but it was a science fiction where your life was on your arm. Have you ever seen that one? And they could transfer minutes and hours and stuff like that.
I can't remember the name of it though.
That was just a great one.
What's that? Alpha Dog? I think he was.
Oh,
in,
yeah,
that was based on a true story.
It was based on a true story.
Man.
They kidnapped a boy who was supposed to get. They were supposed to get money from his dad.
Yeah.
But the little kid basically didn't know he was kidnapped because he was having fun.
They were partying with him, man, and getting him laid. All this shit.
And then they take him out and kill him.
Yeah.
Which is hardcore.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a terrible thing. I'm sorry, spoiler alert.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, hey, this movie's over 10 years old.
Yeah.
And you ain't seen it yet.
But
it is a great movie.
It's like somebody said something about. What was it? The Sixth Sense the other night, and they said, spoiler alert. And they said it's 20 years old. Shut up, or 30 years old. Or
we got
however.
spoiled that week.
God damn it, Wayne! You had to bring up the Sixth Sense. Let me tell you a story.
Oh shit!
Fucking Mikey's cousin over here.
We talked about this before.
This has been on the podcast a few times, but man, I'm gonna bring it up, or if it comes up. Boy, howdy, is it? It hurts. This shit hurts, Wayne. No, God darn it. I see fucking Mikey's cousin one day at the wrestling building. Hey, man, what's going on? So I just went and, rented a couple VHSs, a couple tapes. Oh, what'd you get? I remember both movies, brother. Stigmata and The Sixth Sense.
Uh-huh.
And he was like, oh, yeah, man, The Sixth Sense really good, dude. He's dead like the whole time.
Oh, God.
Spoiler alert, motherfucker. I mean, it's on VHS, so it's recent. You know what I'm saying?
Asshole.
Dude, I'm watching the movie, and I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. Yeah, I was like, that's not going to mean anything.
Yep.
5 fucking minutes, dude. I'm like, motherfucker, dude. I couldn't enjoy it. I mean, I liked the movie, but I was done, man.
Done.
That's you don't do that. I mean, like you said,
just say it's a good movie. Yeah. You should check it out.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. There's a twist. You may like it.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. I'd be cool with a little twist, but oh yeah, man, he's dead the whole time.
I hate when people do that. I mean, not even just that. They'll spoil some intricate part of the movie, and you'll say, "Why?
Why do that to us?
Why do you do that?"
Well, guys, I tell you what, man. I want to play at least 3 songs today.
Okay.
Now, I think last time, in fact, I know last time you were down, Wayne, either last time or the time before, I can't remember. We talked a little bit about the Hindu love gods.
Oh, yeah.
Now, the Hindu love gods, for anybody who didn't listen to the last show, which shame on you, you should go back and listen, man. Yeah, get back on that, man.
What's the problem?
But basically what this band was REM, the band REM, without Michael Snipe, the lead singer,
right,
and Warren Zevon on vocals.
Right.
Well, come to find out, man, they went into the studio and recorded an album called The Hindu Love Gods. And guys, I could keep talking about it, but actually the clip or the song we're about to play, I think Warren actually tells the story better than I ever could. Let's just hear it from the man himself.
Hey.
So this actually is Raspberry Beret.
Yeah, and it's a good version.
And it's a great version. It's a tremendous song by a tremendous artist covering another tremendous artist.
Yes.
I know we've put Prince over on this show, and we will always continue to put Prince over on this show. In fact, if anything does get this show taken down, there'll probably be this fucking song from Prince's estate.
It's possible.
So we're going to give it a shot here. But like I said, before the song starts, Warren actually gives a little story about how the Hindu love gods became what they were.
Yeah.
And we also get to see another little hint of Zevon's humor in this clip as well in this song. So once again, the name of the song, Raspberry Beret, originally done by the unfortunately, another late great artist, Prince.
Right.
Warren Zevon, don't go anywhere, people. We'll be right back.
So anyway, me and Mike Mills and Peter Buck and Bill Berry went in the studio one afternoon, had 9 songs. We cut some blues songs and some weird covers and a sort of disturbingly sexist, upon reflection, Prince song. We called this the Hindu Love Gods. Well, if Prince writes is not really sexist, then it's like James Joyce, it's okay. I keep saying that, but whenever I sing it, I feel like Andrew Dice Clay, To make a long story short, it was just kind of a joke. We called it the Hindu Love Gods. We put it out, and now it's selling by the shitload. And to celebrate that fact, I thought I'd play an instrument I don't know how to play on this song.
No, they said it was selling like shit.
What?
Not by the shitload. They said it was selling like shit.
I said it was selling by the shitload.
No, you got that wrong.
What?
It's like shit, wasn't it? Thought I heard it like that.
outdoor, outdoor. Oh, she wore a raspberry beret, the kind you find in a second-hand store. Raspberry beret. When it was warm, she didn't wear much more. Raspberry beret. I think I love her. Now, built the way she was, she had the nerve to ask me if I meant to do her any harm. So I put her on the back of my bike and we went riding down by old man Johnson's farm. What phrasing! Now, rainy days never turned me on, but something about the way the clouds in her mixed. She wasn't too bright, but the way she kissed me, I knew she knew how to get a kiss. She wore a raspberry beret, the kind you find in a second-hand store. Raspberry beret. When it was warm, she didn't wear much more. Raspberry beret. I think I love her. She didn't wear much more. Raspberry beret. You find in a second-hand store. Raspberry beret. I think I love her.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back once again. That was the late, great Warren Zevon covering the late, great Prince, Raspberry Beret. I really enjoyed that. Once again, guys, peek behind the curtain. We didn't listen to the song, but we heard it previously.
Right.
And I think it's really hilarious, that little back and forth, Warren and the other guy has about the album sounding like shit. It was like, hey, we sold a shitload of albums. No, that's they sold like shit. What? Once again, man, it shows his humor. It shows how Zevon didn't take himself so damn seriously, man.
Yeah.
We take Warren Zevon 10 times more seriously than Warren Zevon ever took himself, man.
Yeah.
And once again, just another example of greatness covering greatness, man.
And that's one of those great songs that I think that Prince could do it. I think Warren could do it. But there's not many people, I think, else out there that could really give that song a good run.
Dude, I mean, Warren, name me another artist that could have ever done to that song what we just heard.
Right.
I mean, a guitar and a vocalist like Warren Zevon.
Right. Yeah.
And then you hear the Prince version, which I love. Obviously I love everything Prince ever did. But
Prince was amazing as far as that. His instrumentship, his musician. I mean, just his talent alone.
His engineering skills were incredible, man.
Yeah.
He produced and engineered all of his albums, dude. He would engineer the live shows as he played. He had a fucking booth set up on stage, brother.
It's incredible.
That blows me away.
Yeah.
And is one of the best dancers and performers to ever live. And he choreographed all his shit.
Right, and a performer to be not be believed, because, like you say, he was out there and he knew what showmanship really was.
Yes, man. Yeah. He was the total package.
Exactly.
When you talk about, and nothing sounded like Prince. Nobody's ever been able to sound like Prince. Yeah. Every Prince song sounds like Prince, but every Prince song sounds different.
Yes.
It's great.
Where do you go from there, guys?
Exactly.
That's great.
You know where I want to go from there, Mike? I want to go to Infinity's End, Wayne.
No.
Wayne was a little hesitant to tell this story, man. He started to go into it. And Wayne even made a comment like, "Yeah, I may tell this story one day." I said, "No, man, let's tell it right now. Let's go ahead and do this."
It was. This is one of those younger stories, those younger day stories. When you think about back, I think back about it now and I laugh, but you think about it back then, and you sort of, I can mention his name because he doesn't come off bad, and it's my good buddy Rodney Walker. And to let you know, Rodney was a big guy, or still is a big guy, and his nickname was Moose and everything.
There you go, man.
So if you guys remember living here in Lincoln, if you wanted to go to a good club, sometimes you had to go all the way to Charlotte.
Sure.
And you did not go to the clubs at like 7 o'clock. You went at about 10 or 11.
Yeah. Right.
So you'd kill time before you would go to the clubs.
Only the nerds showed up at opening, man.
Exactly.
Only the nerds.
So we would go.
I was there at opening every time.
Yeah.
So we would go to Charlotte. Sometimes we would grab a bite to eat, and we were not. Let's say we were young, so we would go to like a McDonald's, which is we thought was pretty cool.
Sure.
But we would go to the McDonald's, and then we'd go to Infinity's End or someplace else to shop. Now,
Rock and Roll Emporium.
Rock and Roll Emporium, the great stuff. And for those of you who don't remember Infinity's End, I don't even know if it's still there.
It's in a different location.
Yeah.
It's
but
on
when
South
we were
Boulevard now.
when we were there, it was on Independence.
Yeah.
And they would have the main part here, and over here they had the paraphernalia, basically.
Let's tell the people that may not be familiar. Infinity's End was a head shop.
Exactly.
They sold bongs, papers, coolest T-shirts you could get.
T-shirts, posters,
and the
black
lights,
and clothes, rock and roll clothes.
Yes,
I knew a lot of guys there who were on stage that would go there and buy their outfits.
Yeah, not just like band T-shirts, but like leather jeans, leather pants, stuff like that. Yeah, man. Right.
So it's a good thing you said leather, because I was in. Rodney was overlooking at some T-shirts, and I went into the other side where the paraphernalia was, because I used to collect, or still do every now and then. I like Zippo lighters just to play with, stuff like that. And they had the Zippos in the paraphernalia section, and I'm looking around to see if anything I want, And as I'm stepping back into the main room, as I'm stepping back in, the back wall is to my right hand side, and the front of the store is to my left hand side. So I step out, and there are the dressing rooms for the clothing you could try on. And I just put my foot straight down on the floor when one of the doors opened up. This girl stepped out, beyond beautiful, guys. I mean, just at that point in time, my brain melted.
Yeah.
Not just because she was so beautiful, but what she was wearing.
Right.
She had dark hair. Sorry.
This segment brought to you by Autoblow.
Autoblow. And
Infinite amount of fun.
And she steps out, and the only way I can describe it is she's wearing a one-piece leather bathing suit, but the sides are cut out. The legs are cut up high, and I think they call that a French cut, because I've been watching too much Project Runway. And
no such thing as too much.
And she has, and it's low cut in the front with the leather straps across the top. And it also has those sleeve things on with the little fringe hanging down, but they're not connected to the outfit.
I got
and it's just gorgeous. I mean, she's just she's stunning.
Like she would be in a Trickster video or something.
Exactly.
Trickster.
What? Well, you don't like Trickster?
No.
Motherfucker over here putting on the Stryper, but you're going to shit on Trickster?
I am shitting on Trickster.
You're shitting but Stryper though.
Trickster was fucking whack, dude.
God damn.
No.
But Stryper on the other hand. Skeet.
Man,
baby, don't trick.
No.
That was Firehouse.
That was Firehouse, stupid.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, then Firehouse.
Firehouse.
Yeah, Trickster did suck. Yeah, Firehouse is the shit.
Oh, God.
Oh, now he's upset. I thought we were going to come to blows here, folks.
The Autoblow.
Trickster.
No, Mikey got that poster up in his bedroom.
Oh.
So anyway, man, so this hot just... Damn it, man. Mikey over here mad as hell.
He's not recovered yet. That's bad, man.
He got a case of the Tricksters in.
Oh,
Man.
But so anyway, man, so this hot chick. Damn it, man.
Trickster,
man. I meant Firehouse. I can't believe I got it mixed up, man.
I can.
So, all right, man. So this hot chick, man, Infinity's End.
Okay. Not in a Trickster video
Not in the
at
Trickster
all.
video. Firehouse.
Maybe Whitesnake.
Would she dance on top of the car?
Oh, yeah. She could have. But I step out. I step in. As soon as my foot hits the floor, she steps out of the dressing room. And she goes to a man who I do not see at first, who is to my left, and she goes, "What do you think?" This asshole actually has the nerves to say, "How much does it cost?"
Oh.
Now, at that point, I should have said nothing. But
shit.
I said, "What in the hell is wrong with you? She looks gorgeous."
Oh, hell.
And he looks at me like, exactly. And he looks at me.
Here we go.
And I said, "Screw him. I'll buy it." I said, "How much is it?" I said, "You look gorgeous." I said, "My name's Wayne. What's yours?" And she is laughing. She is laughing her ass off. But he is getting more and more.
He ain't laughing. He ain't laughing.
I'm looking at her. I'm going, I said, "You are just beautiful." I said, "That is a stunning outfit." And she is just
eating it up,
just loving every minute of it. And like I said, I do not know at this point where my buddy Rodney is. But at one point, I feel a hand grab my neck, and it's Rodney. And he goes, and he's laughing. He says, "Come on." He said, he looks at the woman. He goes, "You look really great. I can't take him anywhere." And he starts taking me towards the door. And I'm going, and I'm literally, he's dragging me out. I said, "My name is Wayne. Call me." And
My number 704.
And I'm pointing to the girl at the counter. I said, "She knows me. She has my number." And they're dragging me out. And finally, the guy takes like 2 steps toward me with his fist clenched. And Rodney, like I say, he just says, "Back off, asshole." And that's all it takes.
That done.
And he gets me out there, and he taking me to the car, and I'm still screaming through the glass. There's people, they said later on, the people at Infinity's Inn said they could still hear me through the glass going, "Please call me. Somebody tell me her name. What is her name?"
I'm Wayne. I'm a Gemini.
I kept saying, "I'm Wayne. I'm from Lincolnton, but I'm still cool." And
I'm still cool. Don't hold it against me.
And I never saw that woman again, but I know somewhere there is a married woman who every now and then, when she wants to chuckle, will sit back and think of some asshole just going crazy over her and her idiot husband or whatever, not wanting to buy her an outfit that made her look that good.
I hope they're not married today. I hope not.
So I know that was the lead singer for Firehouse.
It's circled around, man.
There
It's
you
circled
go.
around. And if you're out there listening, Wayne is here. Wayne is ready.
And I'm still cool.
It's still cool. Don't be, just because he's on the podcast don't mean he ain't cool.
Yeah.
You still got that outfit.
But like I
Did you
said,
still have that bikini?
oh God. Dude, when she stepped out, it was just magic.
Kind of feel your breath leave,
Oh,
like just suck the air out of the room.
really.
Man.
And for the rest of the night, I was just depressed because I didn't get to talk to her more.
Damn it,
But
man.
Rod saved
But you had a hell of a story out
yeah.
of it.
Rod saved my. I don't know if the guy could have whooped my ass, but I know he would have tried.
You didn't want him to try.
No,
you know?
he would have definitely tried. I mean, he was, and the only thing I really know that did stop him was not because he was afraid of me. He was afraid of Rod.
Right.
And he stepped, like I said, he was coming towards me. And Rodney said,
But you're already out, going out the door at this
yeah.
point. So,
I mean,
you
and like I say, at that point I was a kid. I was basically harmless.
well, you know.
But I mean, I don't know to this day how old she was. She looked beautiful. It just floored me.
Damn it,
You don't
man.
get to see women like that often.
all the time. Yeah, right,
And it
right.
just amazed me at that point in my. And like I said, what I should have said was nothing.
just
but
let it ride, you know.
But he was just such an idiot.
That's the thing, man. Especially when you see somebody as gorgeous as that, and seeing somebody who's obviously taking it for granted. It's like, come on, man. You know.
Look at these assholes.
Mike, you just pulled up a picture of Trickster.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but dude, come on, man. I mean, dude, that looks like everybody else back in that
No,
day.
it did not.
Yeah, man, pull up Firehouse. Let's compare.
Oh, of course, Firehouse, because you got them mixed up.
Wait a
Sure
minute.
as
But that's
fuck
my
didn't
point.
look
That's
like
my point.
Stryper.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, but they look like Stryper without the fucking Bumblebee costumes.
Wait a minute. Did the Trickster guys actually have their heads on each other's shoulders?
Yes.
That's just wrong, man. Look, that's wrong.
Come on, man. That's a sweet picture.
That's a sweet picture.
Speaking of sweet, who was the lead singer of Stryper? Michael Sweet. There we
There you
go.
go.
See.
Let me pull up Firehouse.
let's look at a picture of Firehouse.
Ah,
Oh shit! They pulled up actual firehouses.
yeah. Firehouses. There you go.
This is why we got to go
There you
video. I mean, hell, man.
But see, they're not leaning on each other's shoulders.
I'll give you
That's
that.
true.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that much.
Let me go ahead and put that.
but
Okay, there
one-
we go.
But that one though, they're kind of leaning on each other.
No, that was Slaughter.
That's my point, man. You can't tell these motherfuckers apart, man.
Oh, see, I mean, Slaughter wasn't anything to, brag about.
I mean, Up All Night was decent.
That was another one of those, like, almost like a super band. Like Dana Strum. Dana Strum was like
Alice Cooper,
wasn't
it? Yeah,
everybody. I mean, I think he had even Vinnie Vincent Invasion.
That was who I was thinking about. That was Mark Slaughter. That's where he came from, wasn't it? Vinnie. Was it Vinnie Vincent?
No, Vinnie was the singer. Mark Slaughter came from, oh my God, where did he come from? I knew Dana Strum came from Vinnie Vincent Invasion, but Mark Slaughter came, I don't even know where he came from.
I thought he was the lead singer for Vinnie, man.
No, Vinnie was.
Really? I didn't know that, man.
Yeah.
I wasn't a big fan of Vinnie Vincent Invasion.
No.
I knew of them.
Again, like I say, it was one of those kind of cursory things about out on the edges, but I'm not really into it that much.
Yeah, because Slaughter was just one of those bands, dude. Like, I like a lot of hair metal. I mean, it's probably my favorite genre. Shit like Skid Row.
Right.
And I love fucking Cinderella.
Right.
Rad. I love all that shit. But yeah, man, kind of getting into them, Vinnie Vincent, stuff like that. The Slaughter, especially. Slaughter was too poppy for me.
They had tendency
No,
to
he
be
was.
poppy.
Mark Slaughter was.
It was. That's what I was thinking, man.
I thought Vinnie Vincent sang on that.
No, I mean, I remember back in the day that he came from that band, so he may have sang on a couple tracks or something. But yeah, man, well, Kip Winger came from fucking Alice Cooper.
Right.
I remember the first time I heard that, I was like, damn, really? That was another one of those bands that just sucks so fucking bad, dude.
Right.
Winger, oh my God.
Yeah, we have a conversation about Winger and how good Kip Winger actually was.
But Kip Winger's an amazing musician, dude. He's actually a composer now.
Right.
But that band was.
The band, and the music was.
And that lumps in with that Trickster, that
Firehouse,
that 90s, early 90s pop metal.
Yeah.
That was starting to hit that I just could not stomach.
Man. And there's such a big difference between, let's say, like Trickster and Skid Row, for instance. But a lot of people will put them in the same category.
Yeah, that's true.
I hear that all the time.
Will, man.
I hear that all the time,
Yeah.
and you want to say no, that's not it. But I mean, I mean, you can
Because
sort
of the ballads.
But see, I love power ballads, man.
Power ballads can be real good,
brother. That's my guilty pleasure. If I have a guilty pleasure with music, I'm not gonna lie, man. If you put on Warrant's Heaven right now. Heaven, I love it, man. I know. I'll take the heat on this one, man.
Yeah,
that's why it's a guilty pleasure.
I got no problems with that.
Enough's enough. Waha Michelle, dude. I know Mikey's about to throw up over here, and I understand. I get it.
It's hurtful.
That's a guilty pleasure for me, man. You put that shit on.
Some of the stuff just like I say, you don't know why you like it, you just do.
Even Aerosmith at this time
started putting them out, bro. Yeah, man.
Well, Aerosmith was on their way, and when they started off, they started off harder, but when they really came back when they did the song with Run DMC.
Yeah, man. Let's see. Walk This Way. Right.
And it's not like that they were down and out. They were just not as up there as they were. Yeah. They got a bigger
it gave them a boost
of viewership or whatever you want to call it.
Put them back in the conversation.
And they springboarded from that really well from to the stuff they did later on, which some of it was really good.
See, I've always said, man, Aerosmith kind of goes into two parts for me. It goes up to Pump,
right?
Which I thought Pump was a great album. Man, Janie's Got a Gun, Loving in an Elevator. That was actually the album that turned me on.
Really,
that was my first exposure to Aerosmith, man. Well, other than Walk This Way. Wow. That was actually my Run DMC, because I didn't know rock and roll coming up.
I think my first exposure was Permanent Vacation.
Right.
Okay, is that the ones with Ragdoll and all that? That great album.
Yeah,
man. It's a great album.
And see, I go all the way back in when they started in the 70s, and it was just just incredible stuff.
Their
back
first
then.
album, man, is amazing.
Yeah, just the best stuff.
Yes,
yeah,
man.
And it was just unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, they had that Red Greatest Hits album. You know what I'm talking about? It was mostly a Red album. I've always considered that to be the era, the of Aerosmith, and then it was everything else. Well, I would say it was from that album up to Pump, and then Get a Grip up to today. Yeah. Is how I kind of break Aerosmith down. You have the classic era, that modern era, and the suckified era. Because I'm not an Aerosmith fan anymore.
No, I mean anybody can go outside their range and just start losing it. There are a few good people. The Stones, I still think, can do it.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man.
And I think I was going to say Zevon, but what I was going to say, Springsteen can still do it.
Absolutely, man.
Because, like I say, his new album, if you haven't heard it, Western Stars, is really just incredible.
I know, because when you first got here, Wayne, you were putting that album over and everything. I haven't listened to anything off of it yet, but I've always been a huge Springsteen fan as well, man.
Now, I want you to look at this.
Okay. Mikey has a bunch of hair metal bands pulled up right here.
I want you to look at Stryper
and
Motley Crue from 1983.
Uh-huh.
See, this is to me is like that yin yang kind of. You got Stryper from straight from God,
literally.
and Motley Crue 1983 straight
Satan,
from the devil.
Man, I mean, straight up shout at the devil here.
So there's like that light and dark thing.
But Stryper looks like a caution fucking flag or some shit. What the fuck
does Motley Crue look like?
I don't know.
They look like fucking
transvestites.
Yeah, kinda, man. It looks like Kiss in a blender in a way.
No, they look like straight like whores you would pick up at like
the meth house.
Yeah.
But Stryper, dude, I think that's another reason I just couldn't get into Stryper. They literally dress like bumblebees, man. They do. They look like caution tape and bumblebees, dude. That yellow and black thing.
Yellow and black attack was awesome.
Just come on, man. You gotta be fucking shitting me, dude.
Right.
And they come out here and sing gospel songs? Come on, man. The hell with the devil.
It wasn't gospel songs. They were inspirational songs.
Jesus Christ, man. Somebody needs to inspire them to get some better fucking clothes,
metal.
Man.
Inspirational metal.
Absolutely.
Damn, 2 words not really put together much.
No, man, no.
Does anybody remember Kingdom Come?
Yeah.
Vaguely, man, vaguely. I don't remember their music, though.
I do. But they had caught a lot of heat for sounding a lot like Zeppelin.
Okay. Right. I don't remember them that much. I remember the name.
I can see that because I remember.
But David Coverdale and Whitesnake never got a goddamn argument.
Dude, I mean, hell, he did an album with fucking Jimmy Page.
Yes.
I mean, which, dude, I'm a fan of Coverdale. I'm going to tell you what I just recently got turned on to just about a year or so ago with some of the early Whitesnake. Because I got that box set that has some of the early, like, 70s stuff.
Right.
All right.
Guys, man, that's some pretty good rock and roll, brother.
They had their era there for a while.
Yeah, and he actually sang with Deep Purple for a little while as well, and that's some pretty good stuff, man.
Coverdale really, the only problem with him was I think people thought he was trying to buy in on his image more than he was trying to buy in on his talent. And I don't know if he was or not. Honestly, he may have been because he had that girl that was dancing on his car.
On the car.
What was her name?
Katane.
That's it. And that was his girlfriend at the time.
Right.
And those were his 2 Jaguars that she was dancing on.
Right.
Which to me is kind of, I don't know. Douchey. Real douchey.
It's very overindulgent. Man.
Yeah.
But that was rock and roll, though. That was especially in the 80s, man. Yeah.
But,
Whitesnake, though.
I like Whitesnake.
Yeah.
I do. I've always been a fan, like a non-apologetic fan too. I'm like, I love Slip of the Tongue, dude. Still of the Night. Come on, that's good shit.
I don't know.
Here, I'll throw one out here that will be a Great White.
I like Great
White. I love Great White.
Yeah, I like Great White.
They were just that metal blues.
Yes,
it was just they had some stuff that he never even made a radio.
That was really good. Yeah, those albums are pretty damn tight.
Yes.
Once bitten, twice shy. Those albums, they're pretty tight, man.
They had that trouble a while back when they set the club on fire.
Yeah, that was tragic, dude. That's really bad stuff.
You can't believe that stuff like that still happens in this day and age because somebody just wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, somebody dropped the ball, man, really bad on that. But I tell you, another band from that era that I really liked was Cinderella.
I loved
Cinderella. I love
again another
stuff,
blues
man.
metal.
Yeah, man. They transcended that whole glam metal thing.
Yeah,
Cinderella was good.
Yeah. And dude, I'll always put Tesla over. I try to put Tesla over as much as I can. Dude.
Tesla was good. I like Tesla.
I think Tesla had a lot of crossover appeal because they never did the glam thing.
No,
they always were them, dude. The way Tesla looks today is the same way Tesla looked back when they first came out.
They were ugly as shit,
ugly as fuck, and non-apologetic. Once again, man, and that's rock and roll, brother.
I think that a lot of people were too trusting of managers and
record labels
and people that were image
PR people,
God.
image makers, brother.
And these are the same people that do the the Instagram influencers now.
Yes.
God.
What a load of crap that is.
I mean, you talk about just waste of space.
Serious. And they'll have these beautiful girls come on there and they'll have like their vitamins that they take to look this way. If you're going to stand there in a bikini, stand there. Just don't show me vitamins.
That's because I'm not looking at the vitamins.
Really,
and I hate to tell her.
I mean, really, just forget about it.
If you're going to have an advertisement, put it on your ass.
Exactly. Put this.
I hate to say it, man, but seriously, this ass brought to you by A1 Vitamins.
Yeah.
This ass brought to you by Autoblow.
Autoblow.
Jesus, man.
The Scorpions.
I love the Scorpions.
Yeah.
I love the Scorpions.
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Another one of those bands that really transcended that whole glam era. You
Yeah.
know, well, hell, they were before that, dude. They were from
For
the
sure.
70s, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the one thing about them too is they really did put on a live show like crazy.
dude.
I mean, that was just incredible.
Hey, I got a band from that era. Queensryche.
Queensryche was great.
They were the shit, dude.
Seriously.
I tell you, man,
Queensryche.
that Operation Mindcrime album,
Oh yeah.
I consider that to be a masterpiece.
It is.
That's
dude,
a
song
great-
for
it is.
song.
Yeah. You listen to some of that stuff, that's just incredible
Yeah,
stuff.
the story's on point, man. The music's on point. The talent's on point. I mean, yeah, dude, great. The mix of the album, the actual engineering of the album, is tremendous, man. Operation Mindcrime. If anybody out there is not familiar, get familiar with it.
Yeah, listen to that. That's definitely one of the ones I recommend for that.
I'm telling you guys. Hey, man, I was going to bring up something, Mike. You know how we've been trying to kind of go a little bit on the fly here lately?
Yeah.
You know, kind of just trying stuff. Guess who just sent me a message during our last break?
Who?
Double D, man.
Really?
Dustin Fowler. He wants to be on the show.
Okay.
To talk about the party days. Remember we were talking about that last week?
Right.
When you want to bring him on, man?
Whenever.
You want to bring him on next week?
That'll work.
Dustin, if you listen, bro, I'm not going to call him, though.
Okay.
I'm not going to message him. I'm going to
Okay.
see if he listens.
Okay.
So if he's
Yeah.
listening, he'll hit me up or he'll show up next Sunday.
There you go.
By 9:30,
Yeah.
9:30,
We're putting it on
9:45.
here now.
We try to hit record about
Putting it
10,
on
give
now.
or take. You know, if you come a little early, that's cool.
Yep.
Dustin.
We'll be here. We'll be
Yep.
here. So Double D, Dustin Fowler. If you want to be on the show to talk about the old school party days,
Oh man.
see you next week.
There you go.
And if you don't show up, then you're going to be called out for
'Cause
not
you
listening.
weren't listening.
That's damn right, man. That's damn right. All right. Well, man, we ain't going to talk about next week's guest so much because I want to keep talking with this week's guest. What are we going to talk about now?
Well, we have talked about a lot of things. We've
know.
talked about movies. We've talked about music.
Yes.
Uh,
Mikey's musical handicap when it comes to Stryper.
Shut the fuck up.
Man, hey, man, it ain't my fault. See, man, he gets defensive when you bring that shit up.
well, you know.
He likes caution tape and bumblebees. Singing gospel songs.
Singing gospel
This
songs.
motherfucker over here nutting over Trickster and
That's Autoblow one
got-
over Trickster.
got Firehouse. He needs the Autoblow. That's right, everybody. The Autoblow.
Brought to you by Trickster.
Don't get tricked.
Jesus Christ. Whoa. Hey, guys, well, I'll tell you what. I want to play one more song, man, by Warren Zevon today. Or a cover done by Warren Zevon.
There
Oh
you
yeah.
go.
Do you think there's other auto stuff out there,
Dude, there's got to be, bro.
like auto handies?
well, I'll get an auto handy when you can get an auto blow.
Yeah, but some people like handies.
Hey, I bet if you don't put enough lube on it, it can feel like one.
Oh,
It'd just be a hand and just
The auto hand, the auto handy.
push the button.
Just damn it, dude. Losing the grip. No.
I'm sitting there trying to picture that going, how would that work? No, that wouldn't,
Auto booty?
No, the auto booty. Where would you store that motherfucker?
You wouldn't keep it on your bed.
No,
people
man, you
people
put it
walk into your house
Put it
going,
on the wall.
what the hell?
Hang it on the wall.
Just as it comes with hangers. What's that? That's my auto booty.
Come on, baby.
What's it do?
Couldn't
It works.
Yeah, it's work.
you,
It claps.
couldn't you imagine you're sitting there, you're on your deathbed and you're calling up Mike saying, Mike, I'm gonna die. Please go throw out my auto
Yeah,
booty.
get that auto booty out of here.
Get out of here.
I don't want my family to find it.
I put it in my will too, Mike. Mike's like, come get it, man. It's
I
yours.
don't want another motherfucker to touch my auto booty.
keep your dirty hands away from my auto booty. Jesus Christ. Man. Oh, shit. But anyway, guys, we got one more Zevon song, brother. Because, Wayne, you were just talking about Springsteen a little bit
Right.
ago. So I was wanting to play this cover of I'm sorry, dude. I'm thinking of the auto booty. I'm all over it.
The auto booty, brought to you by the same folks as the Autoblow.
And coming soon, the auto handy.
The auto handy for when you just have to get it on the run. Safe for your car.
Perfect for driving. This comes with the
Now we-
cigarette lighter adapter.
Now we know why we need the auto handy. It's in your car.
God damn it, man.
And you thought texting and driving was
It's
bad.
terrible.
Oh God.
Don't handy and drive.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys. The name of this song, the name of the song that we're going to play.
Maybe if you're dating like a flat ass
Hey, okay.
You know? And
Okay.
you can just hang it on there.
Like a backpack.
Yeah,
Like a backpack.
Yeah.
Plug that shit into the wall. Dude, you done and done.
Does your other have no ass? That's
Which-
all right.
She needs the auto booty.
Just get the auto booty.
She'll never say no to the back door now.
That's right.
Take your time, baby.
She can even be in the other room.
She doesn't have to be in the house.
She'll be in there making herself a snack while you are in with the auto booty.
Or better, making you a snack. Oh, we're fucked now. Somebody got mad at that one.
Yeah, that one.
Somebody that did it. Somebody got
One
mad.
step too far.
Too much.
Where do you think you're going with that? Don't worry, hon. Got the auto booty.
Oh no! Holy shit! Chi, what you doing in there? Holy shit, man. Okay, I'm gonna try this one more time.
Oh my God.
We're gonna play a song. Originally recorded by the one and only Mr. Bruce Springsteen.
Right.
And not only that, man, but I wanted to play a song today that showed Warren with a band.
Right.
I did want everybody to be able to hear that energy that Warren did have on stage.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because a lot of times we talk about Warren live, we do talk more about the acoustic stuff, you know, and the solo stuff. But man, Warren can lead a band like nobody else too. That's for sure, brother. So this next song that we got coming up, guys, actually gets to demonstrate that. Once again, the name of the song is Cadillac Ranch. The man who is performing it, once again, the late, great Warren Zevon with his band. And you're hearing it right now on the podcast. So don't go nowhere, guys. We're going to be right back.
Just a gleaming in the sun, waiting for a working man when his day is done. Gonna pack my mom and I'm gonna pack my aunt. Gonna take them down to the Cadillac band. Heavy waddles and the scrolls. I just like a little bit of heaven here on earth. Oh, but when I die, throw my body in the bag and drive me to the junkyard in my Cadillac. Cadillac, Cadillac. Long dark, shining black. Open up their engines, let them roar. Tearing down the highway like a big old dinosaur. James Dean had a Mercury 49. Junior Johnson riding through the woods of Caroline. And even Burt Reynolds had a black Trans Am. All gonna meet at the Cadillac Fair. Cadillac, Cadillac. Long dark, shining black. Open up your engines, let them go. Tearing down the highway like a big old little girlie in blue jeans so tight, riding along in a Massachusetts night. You're my last love, honey, you're my last chance. Don't let them take me to the Cadillac land. Cadillac, Cadillac. Long and dark, shining black. Open up their engines, let them roar. Tearing down the highway like a big old dinosaur.
Well, fucking, I guess we're back now.
We're back. We're back.
Let me go ahead and do a real one because I don't know how I'm going to edit that shit in. Okay. All right, man, we're back.
We're back.
We're back. Almost as if we never left.
Yeah, right. We've been here the whole time. But guys, well,
Mike has come up with a topic.
This third hour is sponsored by
God Almighty, man, this is Nike.
Nike.
But they're getting kicked and right in the butt.
Yeezys.
Just do it.
Or just kicks.
Just do it,
Yeah.
man. Kicks. Well, but no, that was Warren Zevon live.
Yeah.
Man. I mean, he jammed that shit out. I really hope that shit don't get taken down, guys.
I hope so too.
God
people
darn it,
really
man.
need to hear some of that stuff. It's good.
I know. And like I said, if you are listening and the music's not there, then we got fucking busted.
Yeah.
And, you know, piss off on those
Yeah.
sons of bitches. And we'll know next time.
Yeah.
You know, so
It's you don't know until you try.
you don't, man. Well, you know, we were actually talking. Well, I guess kind of during break. I don't know how I'm going to do that, man. I'm going to have to fuck with that a little bit when I get home. Maybe they will know what I'm talking about. Maybe they won't. But we were talking about porn.
Shocker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? It's kind of weird how the Autoblow
Yeah.
just kind of went into the whole porn discussion. But man, yeah, we were talking about how there's some shit out there.
Not regular porn.
No, not like what we watch for fun, but more, I guess, just
Not like the stuff like Trickster.
actually, I don't watch
If you like
gay porn.
if you like Trickster and Firehouse, you like Missionary. That's about it.
I mean, you
That's about
fucking
it.
you fucking through the underwear hole.
Yeah.
No, that's Stryper.
hey, goddamn it! Nuh-uh.
Yellow and black striped underwear.
Pajama bottoms.
Yellow. You know what Stryper is, man? It's yellow underwear with a skid mark, dude.
Shut the
That's
fuck
what
up.
it is, man. There it is.
You like
dude.
Missionary. That's it.
Through the
That's
dick
all.
hole.
That's all.
Just do it through the dick hole. But damn, what the fuck? Oh yeah, porn. Or weird porn, man. Like basically, we were talking about videos where like women kick dudes in the balls.
Yeah.
Like hard, man.
Yeah.
Hard
It's like a fetish.
yeah, it's a thing, dude.
Yeah.
And like,
And we're wondering why.
wow,
But it's funny as hell.
dude, that's what I wonder if it's more of a novelty thing for people.
Right.
The thing of it is, does the guy getting kicked enjoy it? And do you?
Yeah, I
do you?
guess.
Apparently.
But do you watching it actually get an enjoyment out of it, or is it just like you say? Is it something we just sit here and go, God, that's funny?
Who the fuck does this?
Yeah.
Just something to see.
Yeah.
You know, I
Dude,
mean,
I
for-
saw a chick one time on one that was using a guy's sack as a boxing like a boxing bag.
I saw
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah.
But you're not going to believe where I saw it. I saw it on Daniel Tosh.
Yeah, Tosh.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Where he's just,
And it was just hilarious as
0.
all get out.
dude.
Yeah.
Like I said, man, I don't want to put a whole lot of my history back here, but I worked in a technical job years ago that may or may not have dealt with some adult content.
Okay.
I'll just put it out like that,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
I've seen shit, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I have.
Yeah.
I have shit that I
Yeah.
can never unsee.
Yeah,
Shit that I never, shit that I never wanted to see.
I feel bad for
You're
him now.
damaged.
I mean, you had to earn your money somehow, and,
Yeah.
and I got grossly underpaid. I mean, grossly in two different ways.
Yeah.
But one of the some of the content that would come in is what we were talking about, which are these guys who would just get kicked in the balls. I'm talking about women with like these like stiletto heels,
Yeah.
man, with the
Right.
sharp fucking
Yeah.
toes on them. Like they're putting a fucking football.
Unprotected.
Yeah, no cup, no nothing, man. I'm talking straight balls, man. I seen a guy turn 5 shades of red on this video, dude. And I mean, like, we would gather around and laugh. I mean, it was. I mean, when this.
What else could you do?
I mean,
Yeah.
Jesus, man. I mean,
at first you go, oh God.
yeah, I mean, everybody would
Oh,
crunch
God.
up, man. Everybody crunched
You
up,
have
man.
to.
And
That's
after
just
that,
a
it's just
reflex.
laughing.
And then it's just
Yeah.
dude, when those particular videos would come in, it was a big deal.
Yeah.
Because everybody would get gathered around the monitor. Hey, everybody, we got them in. You
Yeah.
know, we got some more ball kickers in or whatever. And dude, I mean, it was an event, man.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you, dude,
It's like a sporting event.
it was. It was.
Different set of balls.
Just a different set of balls,
Yeah.
brother. But I mean, that bitch punted him like it was a goddamn football. I mean,
It. Oh gosh.
I'm talking, dude. I mean, how they didn't come out his throat, bro.
Dude, yeah. I mean, you'd have to get damaged. I mean,
Oh, and you
God,
can't
yeah.
have kids. There's no because dude, they was a
Thank
couple.
God they're not.
And it was actually a little behind the
I
curtain.
guess that's the last thing on their mind.
No kids.
Are we gonna after this? Or are we gonna try for kids?
Yeah, no, it's and a little peek behind the curtain. This particular videos or series of videos I'm talking about, that was a married couple.
Oh gosh.
So they were in every. She would just dress differently. That would be the only difference, man. Well, some days she would have on lingerie. Other days just be everyday clothes, different kinds of lingerie, S&M type gear, just different things.
Oh,
shit that you saw at the Infinity's Inn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Then Wayne's like, well, maybe we can get the dolls ain't so bad after all.
That's what happened to the husband.
And that turned out to be a famous ball kicker receiver.
That's him. I know that guy.
He's the lead singer for Firehouse.
Tricks.
Couldn't follow up on that second album.
No, man, fell off, man.
Yeah.
He fell off.
Had to definitely fall on another career, so to speak. Wow.
But guys, man, some of the I want to save some of the shit I saw because I do want to stretch because man, I could do every week. We could tell a story.
I'll never forget the first time I talked to Jason about this, and I said something. I said, "Do you sort of get used to it?" He said, "Well, when you're sitting there one day eating a sandwich while that's going on," he said, "Yeah, you're kind of used to it."
You get desensitized to it, man. You know, it's like, oh, okay, here's another double penetration. Yeah, I mean, seriously, man. I mean, shit that you would see back in the day, be like, holy fuck, you know, now it's every fucking day.
Oh shit, there's an Autoblow.
Yeah, man, for real, man. I mean, but it was like, it was a weird career, man. I'm glad I'm not in it anymore. Obviously,
the thing of it is, with that, like you say, stuff is like. I know the internet has opened up a whole new world for the crazies out there.
Oh yeah.
But you hear about some of the stuff like the kicking in the nuts and you know they're talking about like the double and triple penetration.
Yeah, man.
What in the world are you thinking about? Really?
Yeah.
You know, speaking of, you know, I know you watch Tosh.0.
Yeah.
The vomit stuff.
Oh God.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Wow.
Roman showers is what they're called. Yeah.
I saw that for the first time. I was like, I can handle a lot of shit.
That though, man.
I could watch a lot of shit and laugh about it. And I was laughing about it at first, but when it got heavy, I was like, "Oh God, here we go!"
I had to stop. I can't.
It's going,
shit, man.
Oh no!
Oh, I'm serious. No. Whoop.
Oh,
okay,
God, here we go.
Not in the cave. Not in the cave. Oh God.
I just got the rump.
It's so fucking gross, man. It's so fucking gross.
Okay.
Okay, man, let's talk about something else, man. Let me tell you about the funny shit.
Oh, God.
Dude, there was two things, man, or three things that I thought were fucking hilarious. The ball kicking shit. I mean, it was, dude. It's like, if this dumb motherfucker's going to let it happen, man, I'm going to laugh at his ass. Mikey's tripping.
We've lost Mikey.
Mikey's gone, man.
Mikey's into a whole new enjoyment of the...
But for real, man, I'm going to tell you the other two that got me. Clown porn. Believe it or not, clown porn is actually really funny.
Oh, my God.
I can still hear you almost throwing
yeah, man. I don't...
With every word you say.
I can't do it, man. I can't handle that shit, dude. No. Man.
Oh, you can't.
No, man. No. I mean, nah, man. It fucks with me, man. It makes me. It like really makes me sick, man. But nah, man. The clown porn was hilarious. I mean,
I've never seen that.
I've never seen clown porn.
It was another one of those special occasions. Hey, everybody, the clown porn's here. I mean, and dude, my favorite. We would watch this shit every Friday, man. This was I had a work wife.
Why doesn't anybody go down on a clown?
Because they taste funny. But nah, man, I had a work wife up there. We shared an office, man, and she became still to this day we're friends, man. And we made a Friday tradition because I just happened to find something one day. I'm like, no, this can't be real. Fart porn.
Oh no!
Oh, it was amazing. No. It was only one studio. We only had one person that did it.
Oh God.
Dude, it was I mean, we made and it was a limited amount too. So
Thank God.
No, man, this should have been like series, man.
Oh, really?
No, this should have went on forever. I hope they're still doing it. Dude, I would laugh. It would just be a chick. She would just fart. That was it. The best one ever. We watched, dude. We rewound this shit. I swear to God, 100 fucking times. She puts baby powder on her ass. Poof. and it farts, and it looked, man, we were like, dude, oh my, rewind that shit. Yes,
I've seen
hilarious, man. It's so fucking funny, and people watched it, man. Like it had minutes and shit on it, and I'm like, because we're like
analytics, we're showing,
people did watch it, and I'm like, no, I know why we watch it. We're fucking. I mean, people would come over. Well, I mean, it was one of those.
Yeah.
That job had its moments.
Yeah.
It had its moments.
Yeah.
And that was one of the moments, man. And we would. It was our Friday before we'd leave. We'd watch some fart porn.
I saw some of those, and I think the craziest one I saw was a girl sat down on a cake.
Yeah,
chocolate cake.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
I've seen that shit. Yeah. It farts, man.
Yes.
It like bubbles out. Yeah, man. It's hilarious. And this chick is not like really attractive either, man. Like she's a high. She's a high. Right?
Yeah.
Real classy.
Yeah.
Classy chick like that.
Right. Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, I suggest it, man. Don't pay for it, but if you can find some
cake farting on the weekend back in the office on Monday.
Don't pay for it. Don't pay for it.
Don't pay for it, man.
Just
if you can find it online.
Oh God!
Just don't pay.
Oh my God!
Cake farts.
Dude, just amazing, bro.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, shit, guys.
You feel like the guy that saw everything on the internet, and it's like, okay, I'm done.
I'll tell one more story, man.
Uh-huh.
No shit, this is, and I'm not going to, I will not put this, I'll tell you off air, you know this person who sent this to me.
Okay.
Well, anyway, man, we did have standards at that job. We did. You couldn't have anything, obviously, underage, obviously. No kind of like poop or anything, no shit porn.
Right.
We didn't do
That's a whole nother thing.
We didn't do the throw up stuff, man. We didn't do
Right.
thank God, man. I'd have probably quit. I mean, dude, I saw enough nasty shit. I didn't need that shit going on. But one of the, obviously another one of our standards was no bestiality,
Right.
obviously. Well, we had, but man, you'd be surprised at how much porn. Swear to God, man, you'd be surprised how much porn got shot in like stables and shit.
Oh God!
Oh, dude, I mean, oh no, there was shit, man. We had to make a call on a couple fucking on a horse. Literally, the horse was walking or riding, and they were fucking on the horse.
Oh.
They let it go. They actually did let it ride. You know, they weren't fucking the horse, or the horse wasn't fucking them.
Let it ride.
So
I didn't even mean.
you like that?
Damn it, man.
That's all right.
That's all right.
I see what you did there.
All right, I meant to do that. But anyway, man, we had.
I guess that's a weird line.
Yeah, I mean, where do you go with that? But no, man, we had
Not
this.
under the horse. Above the horse.
No, they're
so it's
on the
okay.
horse, yeah.
That's what I said. It's like they're not under it, so they're
Above it.
So I guess that rides. Or that,
Literally.
Yeah.
She was riding him. They were riding
we
the
can
horse.
go with that.
Yeah, it's weird, man.
Wow.
You'd be surprised at some of the gray area, bro.
And
I mean,
athletic as hell.
God, oh, dude, their balance had to be on point, man. But anyway, dude, we had this one video come in, and it was a German video.
Naturally.
Y'all just thank God every day we won that fucking war.
Seriously.
That's all I'll say, man. We'll go into some of the Japanese stuff later, but this is just some of the German stuff right now I'm gonna talk about. When this lady's in a stable, and she takes this like beer can.
Oh no!
But it was like I don't know. It was a big. It wasn't just a regular beer can. It was like a tall boy. You know what I'm saying? And she proceeded to insert it up her ass. Okay, well, all right. And then she pushed it back out. Okay, cool. You know, just another day at work. You know, just another day on the job. No biggie.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But since there were horses in the background, I got this. I had to get my eyes on it as well at this particular time. So you know, everybody's like, "Yeah, it's cool. Whatever. You know, yeah, it can go." I'd say about 2 hours later, give or take 2, maybe 3 hours later, it went live. It went up. I get an email from a mutual friend of ours that I'll tell you off the air. It's like, dude, you ain't gonna believe this shit. And it was that fucking video.
Oh God!
I was like, oh my God, man. I was like, dude,
Wow.
yeah, we just approved that shit. He was like, man, your job is weird. And I was like, yeah. But anyway.
Holy shit.
Well, guys, I think on that note, I guess we could go ahead and start wrapping this bad boy up, man. Wayne, brother, what are your top 3 masturbation toys?
Well, it would have to be, and you know, the Autoblow just sort of does both at the same time.
So would you?
And the Auto Handy, which is convenient when you're traveling, and then of course the Auto Booty.
Auto Booty be your top one. Auto
Yeah.
Booty. Mike, how about yours, bro?
Top 3?
Top 3.
Okay. All right, we'll go with the Handy.
Okay.
Autoblow,
All right.
and the booty.
Okay. Believe it or not, man, my number 3 is actually going to be the Auto Booty.
Okay.
Absolutely. Believe it or not, man. Number 2, the Handy.
Okay.
And I got to go with the Autoblow version 2.5 and not the version 2.8, man.
Well, of course.
Because it seems like when they updated it, it got a little louder, and I like to have a little bit more privacy. So it didn't make, it did, yeah. Or as this one guy said, it's better than hearing his wife complain about coming in.
That's true.
Guys, Wayne, once again, man, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, guys. This was an experience beyond belief today.
And we're going to try to make next month even weirder for you,
Yeah,
man. We're going to try to
absolutely,
make
man.
you feel as awkward and as uncomfortable as humanly possible, man.
I understand. That's no problem for me.
That's always been our goal, and I hope we came close
You ever
today.
heard of 2 girls in a cup?
Oh, God,
You
yes.
will next week. Nasty, gross, man.
Gee, I have to go, guys. There's I'm sure there's something that I can be doing.
No, I guarantee you. Brought to you by Autoblow.
Brought to you by Autoblow for the entire family. Makers of the Auto Handy and Auto Booty.
Blows the competition away. My brother, anything you want to end us with?
It's just a fountain of fun.
I'll never fight for real pussy again. Y'all have a good one.
That should be on a T-shirt.
And not only that, David, I understand we're right at the end of our program.
No, we have got to
This has
go.
been a great event.
There's some people out there that hate us for this.